Like y'all feeling that? Y'all go get some bars in a minute. Not for me though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Somehow we saying Lord Skew. Oh, welcome to the realm, Lord Skew, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, man. You know how everything sounding. Addict, say what's up to the people right quick.
What's going on, you guys?
What's going on? So y'all gonna get a lot of the lords up in here. Voice is low. Okay. Voice is low. The beat is high. The voice is low. I think I'm gonna keep it. I'll get my levels up a little bit. Not too crazy because my laugh is very loud and people attack me for that in the comments after the show. But I will make what's up, bro?
That music's playing, like it's really loud.
Music is loud?
I think that's the reason I can't hear you.
That could be true, yeah. Music is loud.
Just mute it. Click the little mute thing.
No. Move it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta smooth in. Better. Thank you. Eli the realist. All right. So look, yeah, music is loud. That's what it was. Yeah, Attic is right. Music was louder than my voice. That's exactly what it was. Got that new beat, so we just bring it down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But so we're gonna get Lord Mark Nauta in here in a few. King will be pulling up, and got a good show planned. Have some fun. Good to see y'all up in the realm. And we will be back. Casket Repair. What's going on, Casket Repair? Salute. Mitchie dies a lot. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Oh, sending love for the wild old. Yeah. Sending love for the wild old gamer, man. He going through it right now. So salute to him. So Cat Daddy, what's going on? Got the future of the realm with him. You know what I'm saying? Little cat. Yo, Eli really said the beat sound like some No Limit. No doubt. So look, we're gonna get people in here. We're gonna leave y'all with some bars from the legendary Lord Dallas, man, as we come back. So salute that brother, and we will return.
Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look, y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal, and haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. I got let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that
sick of
going.
this.
Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
sick of this.
that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just sick of this.
that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look, y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal, and haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
super
that
nervous.
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold ya, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for ya. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars, and I'm going places. Better tell a Uber, cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look, y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal, and haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
super nervous.
that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold ya, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for ya. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars, and I'm going places. Better tell a Uber, cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look, y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal, and haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
super nervous.
that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold ya, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for ya. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars, and I'm going places. Better tell a Uber, cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them reins. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that,
super
keep that,
nervous.
keep that going, keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and... I'ma just chill and watch them and eat snacks in the attic. I wanted to chill with the pack and be like a young wolf, but then they would mistake me for addict. If I can imagine it's cool to give you some advice, then invite your girl to your squadron. Cause if you don't give her that option, you gon' be single player like Sovereign. You gon' get tossed in the bushes by King David. Royalty and not a pretender. Detrimental to an elemental, what's an avatar to a knee bender? I gotta be me though. I know it's my destiny, word to Cognito. Who cares if you fly, if you still a mosquito? You swear you ain't stuntin', but really be Steve-O. You like to collect stuff and that's cool, but I got bad news. Even if you really was that dude, King David still be the king of the statues. Since a juvenile, I've been cursed with a curse to be musical. And if you hate it, we'll meet in the crucible. Other than that, then it's cool and it's beautiful. We let you know that your dreams are pursuable. Whatever you wanna do, then it's doable. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day. Woo. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day.
All right. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the lordsofgaming.net, episode number 191. It's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our very special guest, and we've got the XCOM franchise and Chimera Squad. Discontinued PS4 models, Nintendo and NextLevelGames, and new Switch Pro rumors to discuss. So we gonna get right into it. But before we get into it,
How many times we would talk about a Switch Pro review?
I know it keeps coming up. So we got some super chats we gotta take care of before I even get in the intro.
And it jumped me. Why did it jump? Okay, I got you. We got Night Music with the $4 super chat. Good afternoon, sir. Not good morning, but enjoy your coffee nonetheless. Then let's welcome Lord Hollow to the round. Put the crest in the chat for Lord Hollow. And then we have our brother Tazoichi with the $50 super chat. Thank you so much. How the intro got horns. Who hit up Scott Storch and Swizzy for the beat? I missed y'all before the holidays. Happy New Year's, Lords. Wish you all the best. And thanks for the entertainment and escape when NYC tries to make us crazy. Yes, indeed.
Factual. No doubt. We all good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, no doubt. So let's get into it, man. So I want to introduce a Lord whose unique talents in programming and game design has quickly ascended him up the ranks of the most iconic turn-based strategy franchise in the history of video games. Introducing the lead designer of XcomChimeraSquad and major design contributor of War of the Chosen and the amazing XCOM 2 franchise. The Super Smash Bros. Savant and affectionately nicknamed Lord Lanky on most XCOM live streams. Live from Baltimore and kind enough to make his debut into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord Mark Nauta of FiraxisGames. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure, man. You are Lord at what you do. Pleasure to finally have you here in the realm. What's been going on with you? How you been doing? What you been playing? What's been going on with you, man?
I've been good. I've been on a long break. Firaxis has had a nice winter break, so been playing a lot of games because that's what you do now.
Nice.
You can't go anywhere.
What you been playing?
I've been playing. Well, I play a lot of Overwatch with friends. Been playing some Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Ooh,
nice. And I actually started up a new Divinity Original Sin 2 co-op run with a friend because, you know, always looking for more.
I have a question.
I'll beat that game eventually. One day I'll beat it.
I have a question. Is that
started
a Yakuza in Game Pass, sir?
No.
No, it's all right.
Okay, well, you know, you purchase your way and you play your way. Thank you.
This is a
Yeah,
Game
I
Pass
gotta
advocate.
give the devs the money. You know.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Listen, that's very valid. You know, you can definitely, because they got that money up front, but you can definitely contribute to extra. That's great.
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't get it on Steam sale, but
See?
but I got the super special edition just solely for the extra karaoke songs. So
Extra
Nice.
karaoke song.
Yo,
Yeah.
that game.
gotta
I
have.
cannot believe from that sentence I let Kid Smooth con me into buying that game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's Larian, man.
It has a lot to it, and that whole karaoke joint that you could actually, it is. I know it's lit.
It's super lit. So you got a little bit of, you said Divinity, Yakuza Like a Dragon, those been the main rotation?
Yeah, I play some like more multiplayer stuff here and there, like Phasmophobia or whatever, or Jackbox, or you know, just so I actually interact with people as I'm alone.
I think I've started Divinity Original Sin 3 times and I still ain't beat that game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think Kai
you only
Kai
escape Fort Joy so many times, you know.
I got Divinity 2.
That's what the one we're talking about.
Yeah, my boy gifted to me. So you ever get a game that you didn't know that you had to play because somebody gifted to you? So you're like, yeah, let's go.
Oh, it's homework now.
Exactly.
I gave it to you.
Like,
No doubt. Sav, you want to get a couple super chats while we
Yeah, first off, let's welcome to the realm, Lord Dirty Nerdy.
Dirty. I like the name.
ooh,
Put the
Ooh.
crust
Solid
in the
name.
chat. That's a beautiful
Salute.
name. I love that.
Uh-huh.
And then we have Lord Andy Crawley with the $10 super chat. Hey, brothers from other mothers. What a great way to start the afternoon. Can't wait for my King mug.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
right. Andy last week. Salute.
thank you. I'm so happy that you chose me. out of the vast selection of lords, you chose me. And
I can't with you. The fact that he bought your particular cup was
Yo,
kind of funny.
I swear, I love it. And if you got any King t-shirts, please take those pictures and send me a tweet.
Savage. So anyway, man, absolute pleasure to have you. We're gonna have some fun. So let's get into the rest of the show. And you all, hold on, we gotta get one away. Get one away, right quick.
With the $2 super chat. Good afternoon, Lords. Good afternoon, my brother.
He put on his
Good
business formal
afternoon.
suit.
Yo, I think
Yeah.
He's been. You see how he's been. We got professional company. He different now.
He back in the house. He's done with his errands. So I know
This
how
week
to
he
be back.
has his podcast that debuts this week.
Dragon's Den, right?
I saw the intro of it. Yo,
Salute.
y'all better tune in. Y'all better buckle up. My man is ready.
Yeah, salute, 108 Dragon, man. Much love. And you already know we got the 4 horsemen of gaming. Those original lords of the realm here at the round table with our time sensitive, because we have a guest, updated intros. But goes with the co-host, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, lord of his own world, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Attic, how we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good since we're time sensitive. That's all That's all you're getting out of me.
My man, following protocol. Time.
You don't have to claim time when I already claimed
Start the
time.
music. Speech is over.
Lord Marcus fit right in. I like this.
Yeah, that's that ravishing Rick Rude.
Yeah. Get that music. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, the Lord of Clarity and Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Chilling. I was on a big cast yesterday. So shout out to Ainsley and the indie gamer. We kept the slander to a minimum.
No, yeah.
That's it.
No, yeah. I was driving my car listening to y'all. Y'all was really out of pocket.
Minimum.
Salute.
Slander to a minimum. Is that even possible?
They were in their Red Dead Redemption 2 GOAT bag. They were in their Mass Effect 1 is the
and then
greatest
Mass
GOAT
Effect.
bag.
Oh, so
when
we
you
have
said
two more panel members for that Emmy panel when
Yes.
when the remake comes out. The
That's true.
when you said, I was like, I could go back and listen to that at work today. Then you said you guys are talking about, Red Dead. Now I've completely.
It was it's not for you. It was old man talk. It's not for you.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, I was like, yeah.
Grizzled old
Is there a
gamer
place I can
talk.
go on YouTube to claim I don't want to watch it?
You can dislike, but we know where you live.
Anything you've been playing, sir?
Yeah, on the Switch because I haven't been able to really play on console. I got unto the end on the Switch. It's fantastic, and it is kicking my ass.
Yo, it's
It
hard,
really
bro.
is killing me.
Let
But
me-
I love it though.
Brutal.
It's
game.
a brutal. He tricked us. It's dark 2D Dark Souls elements in this
It
thing.
really is.
Yeah.
It's very deliberate. Indie Gamer was talking about it yesterday. It's fantastic, but it's beating me up. And then I downloaded something that came out on Apple Arcade like last year, Grindstone. It was like the biggest game for Apple Arcade, but of course I don't have an iPhone, so I did it on the Switch. I paid the Switch tax,
Hey, switch tax.
but it's fantastic. It is a fun little kind of grindy game, but it's fun. So that's it.
No doubt, no doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The prophet of Xbox, king of the statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how are we doing, sir?
You know how I'm doing. Yo, listen, I want to give a shout out to Smitty Smith.
Time.
Smitty Smith, I love you.
Shout out to
I
Smitty.
love you.
What's Smitty
First
do?
of all, he super chatted yesterday. I want to give a shout out to everybody who came out for those 5 hours. I don't care how long you stay. I don't care if you stay for 5 minutes. I did 2 live unboxing shows. One was side shows, and the next was the big bucks was XM Studios. If you see the Red Hawk, he's finally in the house.
Nice.
The thing in the Fantastic Four is down in the bottom. That Red Hawk is absolutely amazing.
That's what I look like
Insane.
when we have to do that 11 a.m. stuff.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I feel. I'm transforming, and you looking like the Red Hawk. It was an incredible thing. I want to give a shout out to Sick Mansion. Please, everybody, go to Sick Mansion and subscribe to his site. If you're not subscribed to Dolph Castle X, that's DCX. That's what I do on Fridays at 9 p.m. Every Friday. That is the statue group. We talk statues, we live statues, we live comic books, entertainment, and movies. Make sure you go there and subscribe. Yeah. Everybody that showed it, it was a beautiful thing. What I'm playing right now, I'm Odyssey. I said
That's not a game. That's not a Game Pass. You're playing a non-Game Pass game.
No, that was a game that I purchased. Yes, you're right. It's not a Game Pass game. I'm gonna get to a Game Pass game that I'm playing. Don't be trying to Game Pass shame me. I paid my money for this.
Continue.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? But I heard a rumor. So the man is trying to finish this game now before that rumor becomes official. And a game launches inside Game Pass that forces me to bend the knee. Okay. Destiny. I've been raiding all this week. ILP clan is in full. It feels so good when I see Attic just pop in my party for no reason. and he knows that I'm invisible, but he knows where I'm at. So I love everything. I've been playing Cold
Can't
Vein.
hide from me, man.
And Warhammer Chaos Bane.
Okay.
60 frames per second.
Okay.
It's like Diablo. And if you put that field of view up proper and you put the world in all the whatever the X can do, Series X can do, It is absolutely stunning and amazing. A true RPG. The story is there.
Nice.
I'm like, wow, I did not know about this, and now they got a fan, so I'm gonna purchase the game because it was for free to play this weekend. So I said, yo, I'm buying the game. So
That's
I'm
what's up. No doubt. And of course, hold on. Actually, sorry, you want to get that super chat?
Yeah, so we have Squirrely Dan with the $5 super chat. The world is the Matrix and the ILP is the red pill. Keeping it real. Let's go.
Salute Squirrely. He got his third eye open. He be in his
So
bag.
Squirrely is privileged to a lot of ILP after dark.
Yeah, those chats.
He's in our chats, and Squirrely is having a ball.
Little Mark's face. What's IOP after dark?
This next one from Stitch is for you.
Oh boy, here we go. Shout out to Lord Stitch with the $2 super chat. Cog, have you gotten your Eyes of Tomorrow yet? No, I have not. And,
let me switch to the IOP account so I can block him.
Wait, did Stitch get it? Did Stitch get it?
I don't know, but you use the words "Eyes of Tomorrow," and if I don't have one, you get blocked.
Yeah, he being real messy.
So wait, how many guys have you run this? How many times have you run this?
I've done it 15 times so far.
Yeah, wow. We are, out of 100 people in the clan, and we run the Deep Stone Crypt raid in Destiny 2. I think
I can name 5 people I know that have it.
People that have it? I know
I
Death
know one
Singer.
person.
Shout out to Back for Dead. He's in here. He had it because I was with him when he got it. And
He's
then
with us.
who's the third person? I don't know. I know maybe Stitch. I don't know. So we salute him. Oh, of course. Let me get Brad right quick. Big Spin Radio
Brad.
Arcade Podcast. Salute Lords. You already know. Good to see you.
Yeah, Brad, how that controller going?
Stop being messy. Look, man. So look, like I said, a little bit of Destiny for me. Obviously, no last word this week. Unfortunately, my brother Ebontis, Texas, having a lot of internet issues, so we couldn't get the show going. So we hope to get King Allen back. He's all the way from India. Fantastic content creator. We will get that rescheduled and talk about his history and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's all I got. But now that we've gotten to what the Lords have been playing, I want to focus on Lord Mark Nauta. His video game system history, his journey into programming and game design, and of course what led him to the XCOM franchise and lead designer of that new XCOM universe of Chimera Squad. So, Lord Mark, let's start from the very beginning. What were some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Yeah, sure. I don't think there's any way for me to do this without coming across as incredibly spoiled as a child. So let's just get into it.
Let's get to the bougie. Let's go.
Yeah. So it started when I was born in '89. So my gaming history started when I was 5, and I got a Sega Genesis.
Woo!
Because it does what Nintendo don't.
Oh, let's go. There you go. There we go. Let's full fanboy out.
You're in the right place.
You're in the right place. But you say get into it. Salute.
Gotta go fast. Anyway, so the first game I ever played was it was co-op with my sister. We played Mickey Mouse and the World of Illusion.
Castle of Illusion, baby. Oh, is it World of Illusion or Castle of Illusion? Are there two?
No, it was Castle of Illusion.
It's Castle.
There are two.
Yeah, it's 2 of them.
Because I know there was a Fantasia game as well.
Right. That Fantasia game looked crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe I got my first game ever played name wrong. So you could co-op with like Mickey and Donald. Was like
Okay, that was the second one.
That wasn't Castle of Illusion. Yeah,
that's the second one.
This is the second one? Okay, cool. Shit, let's give me some titles.
There we go. We fixed your history.
Been living a lie all these years.
Nah, you good, brother.
So yeah, I played a bunch of Genesis games. I mean, Sonic, obviously.
Of course.
Vector Man. Shining Force 2.
Oh, Shining Force, remember that?
I mean, I was probably too young to know what I was doing in that, but the tactical roots early.
Tactical roots.
Then let's see, what other systems I have? I had a Sega Saturn. Was still going to Sega Train.
Okay. So question.
Yeah.
Was it a situation where Nintendo? Oh, somebody got to shout out someone from the realm real quick. Oh, shout out to Dirty Nerdy getting the Net Gator for the winter, protecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I respect that, man. That looks good, sir. But I was gonna say, so was it? Then you didn't gravitate towards Nintendo, or or was your parents say, "Hey, I'm just getting you a Sega"? Was that how was that?
I don't. Yeah, I guess my parents just made the decision that I was a Sega kid at some point. I did play Super Nintendo and stuff. Like my friends had Super Nintendo, but yeah,
that was the beauty about the older days. Is your friends always had consoles. I feel like people don't deal with that now because Like,
internet.
who's really going to their friend's house these days when they're younger to play consoles?
Yeah.
I got a question. The first time you went to your friend's house, because you had the Genesis way before he had a Super Nintendo, right? And I know he was envious of you. He was over your house like, oh my God, this is incredible.
I don't have blast processing.
No, exactly, right? So, okay, the first time you went over his house and he put it on, what was the first game he put on?
It was like Super Mario World, probably. I
Okay.
think.
When you
So
heard that
we
audio
swapped
chip,
off.
yeah. when you heard the audio chip and you saw the scaling, because they did the Mode 7. When you saw the Mode 7 and you heard the audio chip, what did you say?
Did you have buyer's remorse?
Well, he was
When I was like 6.
When you were
like,
6?
This is crap. And then I left. And I was like, don't call me.
Doesn't have enough teraflops.
Did the Mode 7 affect you in any type of way?
It was weird though. Like there was so many like instances of like they had almost the same games.
Yes.
Like the Aladdin game was like different, and
Yeah.
like I had Ninja Turtles and the Hyperstone heist instead of Turtles in Time, which was
Yeah.
like pretty much the same game, but
Yeah.
you know they were miniaturizing monuments or something to steal them. I don't know.
yeah, I remember. I just
But
wanted to know if you caught FOMO when he had it, because when I first got it, because I had got the Famicom version, and I called Cog over to my house, so we Sega nuts, and he's like, "How is it?" I said, "Just get to my house, man. Just get there." And he got there the fastest in the world. I don't know how he got there. He got there without.
He's like, get to my house, and then you heard the door knock right afterwards.
Yeah.
When he saw it, it was a thing. It was a moment. So
Yeah, my Sega loyalties were tested very strongly. Again, just Mode 7 was pretty. That's the only reason why King's asking you, because Mode 7 we felt at the time was so transformative from a scaling perspective. Yeah. And at the time, Genesis was known for the blast processing, the fast side scrolling, and at least they had the mature titles. But I remember that was a moment in gaming. I'm like, this is something my console's not doing.
Right.
But continue on your history, sir. Continue.
Well, yeah, I had Saturn, which I don't honestly remember that much. Like I remember Virtual On was like my favorite. So.
This is Solve's system now. This is Solve's world.
I mean, I had it for a while.
All right, guy. I appreciate that. It didn't get traded in immediately.
No, I think I still have it. I still have most of my old.
Oh, nice.
Not that I bust them out all the time or anything.
Nice.
But then like the next generation, I had PS1 and N64. So yeah, I was super spoiled to play both.
Nice. What attracted you to let's talk about PlayStation first. What anything from PlayStation that really stood out PS1?
I think probably Metal Gear Solid was like my big favorite. I mean, and I remember like playing Tony Hawk a lot when I was a kid.
For sure. Tekken.
Played a good amount of
Let's
Tekken.
go.
Every time people talk about the original Metal Gear Solid and I look at that game, I always think that's a bullet I charged.
It was amazing for its time.
Yeah, I mean, I played Twin Snakes as well. We'll get to that later.
Nice.
On the GameCube. But yeah, let's see. I guess slightly after that, I did have a Dreamcast, which I loved, and I was super sad that it kind of had a short lifespan. Because like Power Stone was like, I love kind of like fighting games, but more the kind of, I guess, brawly fighting games like Smash, and so Power Stone was like one of the only other kind of things that was doing something like that.
Nice. Let me backtrack you to 64 for a second.
Oh yeah, sure.
Any N64 standouts that really had your attention, that really you put hours of game time into?
I mean, there's got to be a lot. Like just like the big one, like Mario 64.
Of course.
Ocarina and Majora's. Me and my dad actually played a lot of Pilot Wings 64. Because he was a pilot at one point, so
nice.
he was super. I mean, even though it was like you're flying like gyrocopters and jetpacks and stuff, he still love that.
Salute. Yes.
What else? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm missing, but I mean, Smash. Played Smash 64.
That's where your origins, the Savant.
Yeah. And I stopped one generation later, but yeah, I mean, 64 was just a great. There's like Banjo-Kazooie. There's so many classics of like it's kind of like when I was the age where I remember the most about gaming, I think.
Oh, okay.
As a kid,
So it was the
where
64.
Yeah, like that was like all like like my childhood was kind of like Mario 64, you know.
Got you. This is amazing, man. A lot of diversity. Loving it. Let me just get a couple super chats, then we continue.
Sure.
I got
one. You gonna get one away, sir?
Yeah, I got him. I got one away. Dragons with $2 super chat. Where's my damn ILP help in Destiny? Oh man, down. Somebody go help my man.
You need to be online, sir.
Yeah, you need to be online to ask for help.
Yes.
And then we have Stitch with the $2 super chat. Yes, on my third run. So he got it on his third run.
Let me get salute to Stitch. I didn't know you got it. Let me get Bad Coffee, man. Salute to the legendary Bad Coffee, Giuseppe Navadia, man. That's from Gears Tactics fame, man. One of the devs from Gears Tactics Splash Damage. He said, salute to all the lords. Great to see Mark here and the podcast always having consistently great guests. Salute, man. You know we got to rep our turn-based, you know what I'm saying, strategy games. So we got to salute you guys. But yeah, he was excellent. We had him on as well. Tremendous history. So we are continuing. So again, you did N64.
We have hold on,
sorry,
let me get this one. Yeah, we have Michael aka Bedside's Finest, $10 super chat. King, make sure Cog don't start his middle ground talk. LOL. In my Cog voice, King. To be fair, just because 900,000 PS blow doesn't mean PlayStation is doomed. There are 2 million systems out there.
Yo, best not being messy. Salute to not being balanced. You know what I mean?
God forbid.
God forbid I be not balanced. Salute the best out for being messy. You know what I'm saying? So salute. So again, PlayStation, N64. Let me ask you a question, a funny question. Since you kind of had a lot, what didn't you have? What systems you missed?
I think, I mean, I didn't have the older Nintendos,
okay.
And then kind of in the next generation, like I didn't have, like I only had GameCube from like kind of the first generation of, I mean the actually like powerful console like PS2 and Xbox, the original Xbox. I was about to say Xbox One, but that's not what. That's not yet. We can't go with that. So yeah, I had but like. That was still in the time where I played a lot of PS2 and Xbox. I played a ton of Halo, but I didn't have Xbox. I honestly was like, I kind of like knew pretty early that I wanted to do something with games. I think from like immediately, like when I played Sega Genesis, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Was there a particular game though? Or was just in general, just the experience in general that was like, okay, I want to, because I'm going to transition, but I want to know, like, was there a moment, like, what was there a specific moment, a specific game you said, you know what, I want to do this?
I think besides, like, kind of just the general, like, video games being like, this is, like, my favorite thing, like, when I was a little older, kind of the Mass Effect series was a big...
Oh, boy.
Well, it was, like, really, like... I really
now the
like
whole podcast has been derailed.
The podcast is about to get derailed, but continue.
Well, it was like it was this moment where I was like, oh, like games can like do something this big and like meaningful and
absolutely,
beautiful that I was like really, I love it. I love every single one of them and like.
But you have to pick a child.
Lord Mark, he's.
But you have to pick a child, and you have to because this is a highly contentious thing on the I Love podcast between myself and Sov, the evil Sov.
All right, well, I can give an answer. I have like kind of a conditional answer. I think at the time, Mass Effect 1 was my favorite because it was like totally different. But upon replay, and it was like this huge thing that I'd never experienced. But upon replay, I think
we don't have to go into the
wait.
We're going
clearly Mass Effect 2.
First impression. Listen, I mean, not everybody's right.
Listen, should I leave as my guest?
No. You are welcome every time because I just need you to repeat again. So
just not when I host. When I host, never.
So at the time, you were mesmerized. It was something different. That
mesmerized. Now you're putting words in this.
You were mesmerized, but then
smoke screen.
As you got older, you know what I'm saying. You started to realize how great or superior Mass Effect 2 was to Mass Effect 1. Is that correct? Is that kind of accurate?
Am I like in the middle of
yes, you are.
Here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like I'm a bit surprised, Mark. Because as
thought I respected you.
As a tactics developer, I would think that you prefer the true RPG experience as opposed to some glorified action game.
He did say that he likes Sega. He did say that he likes Blastmaster and processing, and he did say that he was a fan of going fast. So, to his credit, he definitely stood true to form.
Yeah, exactly.
He saw it coming.
Shout out to
What does
FC Violent.
XCOM do to tactics games?
Exactly.
Yep.
Shout out to FC Violent. His gaming palette matured. That's just all it is. That's all it is.
Oh, it actually
All right,
regressed.
let's continue.
All right, we gotta move on.
It actually regressed.
Yeah.
Salute.
I mean, I'm happy to be on a Mark Nauta Talks About Mass Effect podcast.
We will definitely invite you. I need help. Wow. Dirty, nerdy, salute, man. He's got the gator and he's got the pullover hoodie for the winter.
Fantastic.
Salute,
Dirty.
brother. Salute.
Yeah, he's right. He said the gator and the pullover.
Yeah, he
hoodie?
got the pullover.
Yeah.
hoodie.
Are you gonna buy the Scully? Because if you buy the Scully, they might arrest you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Just make sure you're not doing any illicit things.
Illicit
No,
things
no.
with the Scully.
You could be walking. Listen, you could be walking down the street. I put on that gator and I have on the hoodie on. I mean the beanie on my head. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's very
Dirty
good.
nerdy. All I ask is if you do anything, that we would frown upon, just flip that logo to the back.
Don't show the brand.
No, dirty.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do it, be infamous.
The ILP does not
Go all the way. Go all the way with it.
Listen, don't go all the way or don't go at all.
I'm done. Moving on, so you want to get the super chat, and then we derailed. And
What do we got here? We got Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. Running all these raids and watching everyone get what I don't have. 24 clears and still no rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Maybe if I quit, I'll get some love.
I'm with you.
No, you better be on after the show. All right.
No doubt, you already know. So look, man, completely understand where you're coming from. Thank you for your clarity on Mass Effect. But we gotta move on. As far as we got that. You said like those type of experiences, like the Mass Effect series, really influenced you and say, hey, wow, games can do this. You know what I'm saying? So that is kind of what kind of inspires you. So what now led specifically now to the journey as far as just getting into it from just an educational standpoint? What route did you go as far as getting into it, game design and programming?
Sure. Well, I think originally I didn't have a clear idea of exactly what I wanted to do in games. I just kind of wanted to, I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, programming is probably the best. I was good at math and logic and stuff like that. So I started high school. Like we didn't have a lot of computer science. Like it was pretty early in the incorporating programming classes phase of school. So there was one class. So I did that in high school, and then went to college and got a computer science degree.
Nice.
I was also a double major in classical studies, which I don't really use as much, but it's cool to know about ancient Greece and stuff like that.
There you go. Shout out to those electives. Shout out to those.
Yeah.
Those
Hey, man.
mandatories.
If you ever make any type of thing with Zeus to them, you know what's up.
Yeah, I mean it's hot right now. Hades,
Yeah.
Odyssey came out. So yeah. So after that, I still didn't. I had an okay programmer, I guess, after you'd go to school, but I didn't have a lot of game experience. So, so I went to grad school for game development.
Yeah.
But in between, I over the summer I did QA for kind of a
Oh wow.
more casual studio called Funkatron, which made kind of Slingo, which is slots bingo games and solitaire games.
Okay.
And it was a great experience. I was doing QA in the sense of finding bugs and giving kind of design experience feedback when I was
Nice.
playing through. So
Nice.
and those are my first game credits, so I'll always
Salute.
have a
Salute
special
Funkatron.
place in my heart. Yeah.
Salute.
So then I went to school at DePaul in Chicago for a couple of years.
Shot town.
Yeah, which was cool and very cold also.
Yeah, shot town.
Yeah, that wind, I feel like I'm
Woo, that wind is serious.
Yeah.
I experienced that wind one time, and I'm ready to never experience it ever again.
The classic is leaning into it at 45 degrees, and then the wind stops, and you're just I'm all the way over. But so that's where I really started making games. I did some out of class game making. We had a group of students that made one over a summer, and then I made some just in my classes. So that's where I really kind of built out
Nice.
my portfolio, which is kind of, for games is such kind of a new field. There isn't education isn't really required, but you have to kind of be able to show that you can,
Right.
you know. So I had these like playable demos and stuff on my website that I was like, see, I can do it.
I got you. So would you say at the time, like, it wasn't, it was harder to get in games because there were specific games programs, so you had to have all these different skill sets, so to speak, and then like I guess my question is, as opposed to is it now? I'm assuming it was much harder back then because there weren't maybe programs that were geared directly towards game development, or am I wrong there? There were those things in place.
There weren't that many degree programs. Like I remember looking at like a few. There was like DePaul and like USC and UC something. I don't remember. And like Full Sail was around back then.
Right.
And DigiPen.
Yes, DigiPen.
But I mean, I don't know if it's like definitely easier to find a game program to go to now. But I don't know if that is translated to be like it's easier to get in, because it's like now more people are doing that. So
yeah, absolutely.
And there aren't like I was just kind of extremely lucky to get my job, like have an opening at the time that I was like looking for a job that fit. Yeah. So
you're leading right in. So basically, you know, what led specifically to the Firaxis game opportunity? Like, obviously, you know, a tremendous history, the studio, you know, the XCOM franchise with Sid Meier's Civilization, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a big deal. So you're getting started. Like, how did you come across this amazing opportunity? And I'm assuming you're fairly young, you know, at the time. So this is a big deal.
Yeah, I was 23 when I started, 24, something like that. I don't even know. It was 2013. However old I was.
Tell us how you wowed them with this skill.
I mean, I think if anyone tells you that there wasn't like a lot of luck involved in getting into their game job, then they're lying.
That is a trend that, you know, everyone says that we have, especially devs. Almost all of them say my first like huge hit into the industry was pure luck.
So paint the picture.
Yeah.
Where were you? What was going on?
So I was in my last semester of grad school. Basically you were just I was just making, like, you have like a capstone project that you make over kind of the end of your so it was like I was working with a little team and we're making kind of a game to be to showcase, to be like, hey, we made a game. So I think I got an email from one of my professors. One of my professors had met Garth DeAngelis, who is kind of the lead producer of a lot of the XCOM games, XCOM 2 and I think EU, and I'm not sure, some of the expansions, but so he is a big deal there. Right. And so they had met at like a GDC or something, Game Developers Conference.
Nice.
So there's all these like 6 degrees to 7 bacon connections. Eventually I got an email that was like, they're actually looking for kind of designer programmer, like, and plus Firaxis is a very designer programmer paradigm studio, which not everyone is. Like, a lot of times designers will just kind of not do any programming.
Right. It's usually separate. That's kind of like a combination skill set. Like, usually they're two separate sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And in school, and like as I developed, I kind of wanted to do design. So I still was doing programming because in school, you know, you have to do a lot of stuff. But I had started to do more design stuff. Like on our kind of extra summer project, I was the lead designer, and I was a designer on the capstone game. So I kind of, had design student credits at least.
Nice.
So, but they had designer programmers, which was something I could do. So I got the email, then my professor's like, you want me to send him your resume? And I was like, give me like one day to like put together my website. So I put it, because my resume is like, you can look at a demo on my website.
Salute for scrambling in the last minute.
And it was cool. I actually had game credits from my summer thing as well. So but then it led to, it was good enough to get a phone call. So I did a phone call with Jake Solomon.
Wait. The legend called the phone?
Yeah.
Woo!
He just randomly called me up. It was crazy. No. It was him, Casey O'Toole, who was like the lead engineer on XCOM EU, and Garth. Or no, it might have been Greg.
EU, Enemy Unknown, right?
Enemy Unknown. Sorry, I call it EU.
I know you're speaking.
The Europe
you're
version
in Firaxis mode, because I gotta explain it to the listeners. Enemy Unknown. Okay, continue.
But yeah, so I don't know. My phone call went well, I guess.
Nice.
I mean, it was pretty. I think something that that people trying to get in should take note of is like one of the most valuable things you can bring as being like a new person is just kind of being excited to be there.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Let's be real. That website was popping, man. They looked at that website. It's like, we got to get this dude on yesterday.
Yeah, I think that website is still the same. Like, I have not updated it. So it's like, hey, I'm a grad student, you know.
No doubt.
But yeah, they must have been impressed by it, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, so I was super excited to talk to them. Obviously, I'd played XCOM a bit and Civ, and so
Right.
I was just like, because Chicago has kind of a indie game culture. There are some big studios around, like NetherRealm, and
Yes.
Volition is in Champaign, so it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people were doing like indie stuff. Like I knew kind of the Young Horses guys who did Octodad and Bugsnax.
Right.
Like they were a student group at DePaul, so they were kind of like mentors for like. They were like a few years before I got there. So
Hold on, I got to shout out Bad Coffee from Splash Damage. He goes, designers that can code are the best designers in my humble and totally not biased opinion.
I totally agree. I'm not biased either.
Salute Splash Damage. I see you. You want to get the super chats real quick, Saul? I think we got Dragonheart, and I don't know if we missed anybody.
No, we didn't miss anybody before that. We got Dragonheart with the $20 super chat. Peace, love, life to the panel. IOP will be reaching new heights, and I'm saying this now. Phil Dominus Maximus and Richard Spencer will be a special guest. Speaking it into existence, y'all are a force to be reckoned with.
Salute.
Hashtag Mass Effect. I'm not reading that part.
Yeah, read what Are you silencing the realm?
Yeah.
Are you silencing the realm because they know the green?
Man donated $20.
He's taking a page out of my book where he just slips that in.
It has to be there.
I'm surprised Cognito didn't see it and just proactively read it.
I missed this. I have to praise this, man.
Look, we would love to have Phil Spencer on, but you know, that's a go. That's definitely a go.
It's always a go for Lord Phil Maximus Dom. What is it? I forget all the time.
Nah, come on, you don't.
My bad, kid.
Too many titles.
Too many titles,
man. And
Dominus.
for the new year.
Yes. Fraud alert for me. Okay, fraud. You're right. Correct. Fraud alert on me.
Say his name correctly.
Why did I
Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer.
Yeah, when you get the urge to say Spencer, just remember you gotta say Aurelius.
Aurelius,
Yes,
yes.
that's right.
Now I got all his
golden,
titles.
baby. He's
Shout
golden
out
child.
for Neil oh my God. Shout out to Neil before God. This is the clan. This is Channel 5 back in a day. You know what I'm saying? And he's clearly pocket watching. Wow, how much money did this guy's parents make? Jesus. Pocket watching Lord Nauta. Stop pocket watching here. God, salute to him.
I warned you, I'm a spoiled child.
He did open the sentence with "I'm a spoiled child."
So we got the last one. We got Dragonheart. We got that.
We got Dragonheart. That was it.
All right, cool. So look, we got this going on. Again, you get the call. You know, it's like, hey, start this new position. You know what I mean? It's pretty amazing, pretty tremendous opportunity. So again, you were saying, you know, with this, they're looking for this unique skill set. Okay, boom, programmer / designer. Now, the first project when you get over there, are you jumping straight into XCOM 2? I'm assuming you're jumping to XCOM 2 at this point, or what was the first thing you hit the ground running on as far as what you're working on?
Right. Yeah. So after I, did fine at the interview and they hired me, which game dev interviews are like an all-day interview. Like I got flown out, which was crazy.
Nice.
But then it's like you interview different people all day, and it's really stressful.
Yeah, it's intense.
But I did it, so maybe I don't have to do it again. Who knows? But yeah, so I started on XCOM 2. I got there before Enemy Within, the expansion to XCOM Enemy Unknown came out.
Yes.
So like a few months before it came out, I think.
Okay.
But so I started. It was like really early day. Like a lot of the team was still kind of on Enemy Within. They were just kind of trying to get ahead of like some new problems for XCOM 2. Like so, I started mostly doing programming stuff. Like I was helping get the procedural map system up and running.
Nice.
Which was like pretty stressful. Like because in school I'd mostly use Unity to learn. And then it was like, here's Unreal 3.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The programming language was like pretty similar, but there's all these engine particularities and stuff that I didn't know, like how you load objects and stuff, which I needed for procedural maps.
Yeah.
But we got there.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question. because when we go to PAX, we always find out, and I've noticed that a lot of the indie devs uses Unity, and Unity, the tool set has definitely become more robust as years progress. The Unreal engine that you were using, that was probably like Unreal 3 at that time.
Unreal 3, yeah.
Yeah, so because I'm giving the time period. So it's like
I mean,
Unreal...
ChimeraSquad was still on Unreal 3.
Okay.
we definitely should have moved on, but we didn't.
Yeah, but you already had built up the engine and stuff like that, so it was easier to go in and fix stuff up. And I think they did the bridge from 4 to 5 a whole lot better. It's like a drop-in type of thing. Anyway, my question is, when you went to the Unreal, right? Did you feel that it gave you a better flexibility opposed to Unity? And I know that Unity is something that you trained on, right? And something that you grew up in. But when you got to Unreal and you started to learn it, did you find it was a little bit more robust in its tool set at that period of time? Because I know time has changed already, but I'm just talking about at that period of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of apples and oranges a little bit because, I mean, Unity at that time was really flexible. Like, that was the strength, I think, of Unreal over Unity, was that if you wanted to do particular things, it was better at them. Like if you wanted to make Gears of War, like Unreal 3 was really good at that.
Yeah, Gears of War good back there. Continue.
But Unity, it was like, you could put a script onto any object and then that would take its behavior. So it's really flexible. I think the kind of learning curve for me was like, I was building off of what they did with Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within, so I had to learn this whole new code base there. And like that development was like, they made a new thing and it was like they were really rushed. So a lot of the engineers were like, we don't want to do things this way anymore. So like rip all that out. And like the whole tech behind how like soldiers moved around and turns visualized in XCOM changed between Enemy Within and XCOM 2.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
We wouldn't know. We play the games.
Yeah.
So, but from your aspect of it,
but by the time we get a hold of it, the headaches are done. They're done. They're over.
They're mostly gone.
But we forget at it because of that. As far as the maps being procedural, we forget that, right? Like it's not static stages a lot of times. It's procedural stuff.
And I remember, especially in the older one, the Enemy Within, like there was a lot on that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now the transition to Unreal, was it a difficult one for you, or just just an adjustment in general?
It wasn't that bad. I think once you can kind of code in a competent way, like learning the new syntax, like Unreal had its own kind of semi-language that had some weird quirks to it, but I mean, you get to use them pretty fast.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't too bad. I think it was more like, what is like XCOM trying to do? So like my first days there were just like stepping through all this code and being like, putting breakpoints and being like, because the Enemy Within engine was very weird. Like, and we ripped a bunch, like the craziest thing that I remember that I didn't rip this out because I'm not competent enough was like, from the tactical and strategy game, like the base and the battle map were actually like two separate games pretty much.
Wow.
And like the save data was actually like loaded onto the dropship object and like brought over. Wow. I was like, what?
Wow, I didn't realize
so eventually it became kind of one.
Oh, so
some smarter than me system engineer made it kind of one game.
So pretty much that was their workaround and you was having to learn all that at one time.
Yeah, so that's a lot of kind of professional coding is like that, where you'll come into something that's already pretty big and be like, or like you'll come back to something you did years later and you'll be like, what idiot did that?
It's like, I'm the idiot.
Well, you had no time or whatever, or inexperience.
So you're going through that. You're on XCOM 2, and also at XCOM 2, because I want to get into what we're gonna get into War of the Chosen, because me and Attic, we affectionately call War of the Chosen the GOAT. That is the bar, the definitive turn-based. We gave our game of, what was it? The game of the year, was in our game of the decade list.
Yeah, it was my top 3 game of the generation.
But exactly. Now before we go there, in XCOM 2, you had a lot of little DLCs. I believe you had like Alien Hunters. You had all those Shin's Gift, which was an amazing story point, which I really like with that character. My question specifically was Alien Hunters because at that time, I remember playing the game, and I could attest, when an Alien Hunter dropped on the map, it was pure fear. And I never had to experience, like, every time you go, and one of your units go, the Alien Hunter goes. And that, at its time, was very transformative and scary. And these things had tons of health. They would terrorize you at any point of the map. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
You know, like, the worst thing is when you're already having a bad match.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, okay, I just got to kill this dude. Hopefully I can get out. And then he just shows up out of nowhere.
Berserker Queen.
Oh. Bro, Berserker Queen.
It's like
Archon, and the snake. Continue. Get at it.
It's just like, especially that, I don't know, I feel like I hated the Archon more because I didn't like the homing missiles because, like, the difference between the regular Archon ad and him is he could shoot the pre ones where it shows where they're going, and then you can only move one person and the rest get knocked out.
Oh, you get knocked down. Yeah, and
it was BS.
Yeah, y'all were very unforgiving.
He was late game though, so at least there's that.
Oh, he was late game.
Has there ever been a time where you're making like the War of the Chosen or the Aliens where they were too broken and you had to nerf them before?
Oh, all the time. That happens with everything. Like game balance is kind of like. This is a Sid Meier thing, is like you always either like double or halve numbers, so you'll be like, oh, it's a little underpowered, just like double that number.
And then it's like you double, it's like, okay, it's a little overpowered, and they're like, it's fine.
Yeah, because I mean, in the transition before we transferred to War of the Chosen, because I remember at that time, and I had confidence in my turn-based chops. I felt I was, I would overwatch every step, and I was that guy. You know what I'm saying? But that mechanic, I feel, fundamentally changed the game. It brought fear to the game. It added a different level of complexity, and to see you do that, and then we're gonna get into War of the Chosen, but like, with the Chosen was something else. That was like, I put it this way. I know people who played XCOM 2, and then they played War of the Chosen. They were like, "This is ridiculous. I can't." Like, it was so unforgiving for some people in the start when the Chosen came. And if I'm correct, was it in the beginning before a patch, Alien Hunters and War of the Chosen on the map at the same time, or no?
There might have been a bug like that.
Yeah,
we tried to prevent that.
So talk about like that in reference to, like I said, the difficulty with adding these kind of, these bosses and stuff like that in the game, kind of.
And whoever decided to let the alien overlords run after a certain amount of damage, I'm not liking that person. If that was you, I apologize, but I'm still not liking that person.
Well, that was for your own safety.
I'm like, he's almost dead, and he'll have like 2 bars, and I can't finish him.
It's to come back to terrorize you later. Continue.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to. I mean, it had a lot of, I don't want to say backlash, but some people like bounced off of it because it felt like we were cheating or something. It's against the rules. It's going every turn. The whole idea with them was to kind of, how can we do let's do a take on like boss enemies. Like we had big enemies like the Sectobot and stuff.
Yes. Don't fight.
But they were just kind of like, they could take a bunch of damage and do a bunch of damage, but they didn't really have any special mechanics or anything. So with XCOM being as punishing as it was, what we tried to do to make it not as punishing with these guys that would react, because we felt like, it would be scary. Like, these guys operate kind of fundamentally differently.
Absolutely.
Was most of their abilities didn't like do that much damage. They were mostly about debuffs and stuff.
Right.
And like they actually had AI that would like make them leave if they debuffed enough people. Like, I don't know if it was stunned or knocked down or whatever, but like if they did enough stuff to you, they'd be like, all right, I'm out of here.
Got you.
But it's still like you had to really utilize the kind of DLC weapons and stuff a lot to fight them,
Especially
which
that axe.
the axe was great, and anything that can kind of like stun them or whatever, like the bolt caster.
That axe was a free turret, so they sit there. He's about to give us a.
And what I like that they did, what I thought was really cool, is after you beat any alien ruler, you would don the suit of the, you know what I'm saying? And it would have like special power. I remember having the snake suit after I beat him and having all these crazy powers and stuff. So that I thought that was really, really cool.
And then you would use that to kill the other ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So brutal.
So again, you're working on this stuff as well during that phase before War of the Chosen.
Yeah, I mean, I worked on all the DLCs except for the first one, which is just cosmetics.
Gotcha.
Because that was like while we were finishing up.
That was like
XCOM
Resistance
2.
or something like that.
Anarchy's Children.
Anarchy's Children, yes, those wild suits, the punk suits. I remember.
That was all Jake, you know.
Yeah, his back. So now Jake did that.
Jake's just they gotta have hot pants. I think like Fury Road like had just come out like when we designed or like those things, but like the DLC actually came out way after Fury Road, so like it'll still be cool. And I think there's a lot of cool pieces in there. But so for Alien Hunters, I did some stuff, and then I was kind of like more of a point designer on Shen's Last Gift.
Tremendous
designing
DLC.
like the Spark class, and I didn't design the mission fully because we have good level designers that do that. But I kind of gave like an outline for what I wanted that mission to be.
Oh, dude, that was amazing. I gotta slow you down. I remember that DLC vividly, and it connected part 1 and part 2. This is what I felt y'all was at y'all best narratively, because you had the engineer was the older guy, right, from part 1, and I mean whatever, and then it was the I forget the Asian chick's name.
It was Lily.
Sorry, correct.
The Shens.
Yes. Yep. So it was a Shen's Last Gift, and it was this cool side mission to find out, you know, and then you learn, I don't want to spoil too much, but for those that
They did that with the scientists too.
Yeah, and it was this cool gift that was left in his memory, and it was really even this. I even have the cinematic kind of saved to my Xbox hard drive, but salute to that. That was a great narrative mission. I didn't know you had a part of that. That was tremendous.
The scientist from the first one was the one that made the Alien Hunters.
Yeah.
Why? We don't know.
We don't know.
She did it. Yeah, and also Mass Effect shout out. Like Julian from Shen's Last Gift is Morden's voice.
Really?
And Garrus is also is like the admin speaker. I always love looking this stuff up. Yeah.
I didn't know. Oh wow, you guys shared those voice acts. Salute. So who's the was the commander? The guy I like the guy's a commander. You know, like that does that voice.
Honest Trailers guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
John Bailey.
Dude, voice acting team was strong. Very, very good chops with that.
I think that's what made the game stand out a lot. Is the voice actors.
Voice acting was tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, War of the Chosen is just like all the next generation voice actors.
Yeah. Now, let's transition right into it, because again, when that came out, just again, I was blown away. I didn't even.
We was at the video game. We was at the PC gaming show when that was first announced.
We had PC gaming show. It was first announced. At that time, you know, XCOM 2.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect XCOM there at all.
We were like, you're done with the series.
Oh, yeah, I remember that moment.
And to see these things and the Chosen, again, we already thought the Alien Hunters was something. When you introduced this mechanic of the Chosen, you know, coming from the Elders and how powerful they were, and again, the terror they caused on the map when they came in. Tremendous story, one of the best DLCs, one of the best. I really feel it took it to the next level. Like, what specifically was your involvement there with War of the Chosen?
Sure. So, kind of from XCOM 2, like after I did procedural map stuff, I kind of transitioned to being like the primary implementer of the strategic layer and like doing a lot of design stuff there. Being into War of the Chosen, I shifted into more of kind of like generalist. Like, I still implemented a lot of stuff in the strategy layer, but I got to design more tactical stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I remember specifically I did a lot of, like, we kind of split up the new classes. So I did the Reaper.
Oh, that's my favorite class.
That's his favorite. Yeah. I'm a Templar guy, but continue.
Yeah, well, my friend, other designer, Joe Weinhofer, did Templars. It was funny because we were doling them up, and Joe was just like, I'll do Templars. And I was like, it's like, you just get to do like the guys with magic.
The Templars were pretty broken though.
Yeah.
They could switch with
pretty
people.
broken.
Yeah.
They could switch with people and just kill everybody there with the Reaper ability.
I just like that anybody got their proximity, they would get slashed. If you had that ability.
I used to take the strongest person on the other side, and I would switch him with my Templars and have all my people gang up on him.
Yes, absolutely. So, Salute. So you worked on that. Wow. So I forgot about because they added new classes. You had Advent improving. You had the Water Chosen, but you also had these other subclasses. But so with the strategy, you said you didn't work too much on the strategy layer, right? Or
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I was still working a lot. Like I implemented a lot of stuff, and
So,
okay.
Go ahead.
just a quick question. With the Reaper, there was always one of the best things that I saw on the Reaper was the mines. Because you could the claymores, that's what they were. Because you could put two, you could find like a group of people, put 2 claymores on them, and then shoot it and like literally kill everyone there. Like, what was that something that you designed?
Yeah, I mean it was still a group effort. Like I think how class design normally works is like someone will be given it as like they're like the point designer on it, and will kind of like make a mock ability tree, probably with extra abilities that like, well, these might work as well. And then we'll kind of bring it back to the group and refine it. So it was a group effort. There were a lot of like really broken stuff that got taken out. I remember one in particular with the Reaper. They had one that was like their highest level ability was like, oh, their crit chance becomes like execution chance or something.
Wow.
Oh god.
But they could just sneak up within like a few tiles of you because of their stealth. So their crit chance was like 100%. They would just execute you.
Yeah,
It's probably too powerful.
I got to throw some shade your way because one thing that was very unforgiving, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Even though I did beat the game, it was hard. Was like the more the Chosen were left in play in the strategy layer, the stronger they got. It prioritized you handling one of them soon. Otherwise, they would gain more abilities, and it would just get crazy. Yeah.
What's crazy, if you don't kill all of them and you go to the last mission, they're all on the last mission.
Oh, that's insane.
Man.
That's insane. So
We're
were you behind that evilness, Lord Mark? Were you the source of many players' frustration with this strategy layer that was?
I definitely was I responsible? That's a good question. I definitely implemented. I think I implemented the Chosen's like strategic abilities and how they operated on the map. So maybe it wasn't my fault.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
forgive the RNG nature of their appearance, but I will not forgive the strategy layer map when you would just see them. The Chosen are getting stronger. The Chosen are getting.
Gotta deal with them, you know. Well, I think a big part of what we wanted to do in War of the Chosen was, I think with XCOM 2, the strategic layer felt a little cold, like. So we wanted to give it more personality and have kind of more stuff to interact with. So the Chosen, where they were taunting you, and you had the Resistance factions that you could go and recruit from, and then you could give Resistance orders, and you had all this stuff. So it felt
not
more
to
alive.
mention that I can't remember if they all can do it, but I remember the assassin chick. She took like 2 of my people at one point. Like she would just knock you out and then just like take your dude.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the snatch, the abduction.
That was also for your safety.
Otherwise, they would tear around. Yeah, it was tremendous. But all jokes aside, like you guys really, the game XCOM 2 was already an amazing game, but you guys added so much to it that we didn't even think it could even be more better. So again, with the strategic layer, with the facts, I remember setting those little, what is it? I forgot the name of them, Attic, where you would send a guy out on a special mission to do stuff.
Covert ops.
Covert ops. Yeah.
And then when you would find them, they would have a pistol and you'd have to evacuate them.
But what I liked is they made it fair in the sense that you could do things to bring the overall threat level down. You could do different things to try to help out the balance. But it didn't. What makes XCOM great that people don't understand, as opposed to most turn-based games, is turn-based games for the most part on the battlefield they're good at. But what XCOM takes it to the next level is that strategy layer, that constant push.
It's the balance between both of them.
Right, and there's the urgency of might have to do this first, you got to take care of that. It's the micromanagement, and it's so
My
cool.
thing is when you panic.
Yes.
When that is the worst thing in the world, when you already got your load out and everybody's good and you're about to go out and it goes, Tommy panics inside the truck.
Well, in War of the Chosen, we had the new fatigue system.
Yes.
Where,
Great addition.
People with I
You
did
have
that.
to switch
Great
people
addition.
around.
I did that. Great addition.
Yeah. So the default panic, where like they could just panic whenever, was taken out. Like they could only default panic if they were tired or worse. I mean, but you could also get negative conditions that would make you panic on certain things. But if everything was good, you wouldn't panic if like something bad happened,
Right.
you know,
Right.
by default. So
No, but it was cool because listen, once XCOM players get to that point, like Addict, where they find out what's the good stuff to research, you get strong, you start giving the aliens the business back.
Yeah,
right?
you'll be like month 6 or 7. They'll be like, "Oh, they're here already."
Yeah,
That gun ready?
and you go
I was like,
handle
"I
it,
don't
right?
have that gun researched yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then right on that.
Let's say you get lucky, you defeat a chosen, you get one of their weapons. Now you start turning the tables on the aliens. You start deboing the aliens, right? But
Right.
the funny thing, the cool thing that you guys did is the tie mechanic, because what would happen is you'd start specking your 4 to 6 guys that were super OP, they had the best weapons, but the tie thing said, yo, you can't use him every mission. You gotta now it forces you to recruit your little squaddies and get other people up and do stuff like that. And I thought that was a nice balance, as well as we forgot added the Lost. They add the Lost in that as well, right?
Yeah, the zombies.
Yeah, they had
The
a-
zombies
gotta
that-
have zombies. You know?
Yes.
The zombies that made my Xbox One shake.
Oh yeah, shout out to you taking
Yeah, that
all
smell like
console
fire?
CPUs.
What is it?
Yeah, it was a lot going on with the CPU during those days.
Yeah,
For the little-
XM2 was already kind of well. We optimized a lot with War the Chosen, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No doubt.
yeah. I think I like the fatigue mechanic. I think there's like parts of it I don't like. I don't like how it's so framed in a negative way. Like, but the results are good, where it's like you kind of passively get multiple teams that are actually able to fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the goal, but it was kind of like, you know, I don't think it feels good as a player to be like, oh, my guy's tired.
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
I think you make people like unintentionally better at the game in general,
Yes.
because like for instance, like when you would send with someone through the stuff to get syossis or whatever that's called, you would be that person down, so they would have to use a rookie 9 times out of 10.
Right. 'cause
And
put
then
them in the
before you
psychic
know
training.
it, they're getting more people killed because they sent 2 people to do this. Like,
No,
Right.
It's true. It's true. It definitely forced change play style.
No,
but-
yeah, the mechanic is a good mechanic. It keeps you constantly, you know, instead of because what I don't like is you have all your best stuff on one guy.
Yep.
And that guy, he you know, you already know he's gonna wreck shop. And then let's say for some instance he's down. You got this dude over
it
here.
happens.
You didn't put anything on him. He's not prepared for the fight. And
Shout out to Sanchez or whatever the random name he was.
because listen,
Thanks.
I'm not even gonna fraud. When I played part 2, they were telling me, "Oh, yo, the expansions is coming. The expansions is coming," and like the Rickos are coming. So I was like, and I don't know what I was playing at the time, and I was like, man, I lost like half my life to that game.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do these expansions, and they're telling me, and you know, Attic is. This is why I told you, Attic was gonna fanboy like something crazy, and Attic is telling me every day, I can't believe they did this to me again. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was definitely one of those guys that would
I
rage
can't
save.
keep getting away with it.
Yeah, the rage load save guy that would. Yeah, I was that. I ain't going for it.
I got so ill at the end of that game. I was killing like whole groups of. It's like I said, like when you get your hands on the claymores, you could kill like 5 or 6 people, and then you get the occasional people you can't handle with the claymores. That's when you just teleport them out with the Templar and let everyone else kill him. Like,
Shout out to Def Sick in the chat, huge XCOM fan. He said 99% chance to hit and still miss. Salute to that
Hey,
percentage.
we just roll the dice, all right.
Do we get any super chats?
We actually cheat in your favor on lower difficulties.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
That makes sense.
Well, it's like we usually, I think on the easiest difficulty, there'll be like an actual behind the scenes boost sometimes, but usually it's like we do streak prevention. Like if you miss like 2 80+% shots in a row, the next one will hit.
Right.
But on like the higher difficulties, we don't do that. So it's just
No doubt.
Probably
what you
done
see
on
is
that-
what you get.
it's probably done on the aliens' behalf then.
No doubt.
Yeah, we gotta help out those aliens, you know.
So look, we got trash here. So we didn't have any super chat. We good, right?
Yeah, we have a few
I'm
actually.
sorry,
Just
continue.
2. We have Stitch with the $5 super chat. This guest needs to come back. Mass Effect 2 plus Switch talk. Amazing. Hashtag, go get your eyes up tomorrow.
No doubt. That was
Man,
messy.
just roasting you.
Yeah, he's
Then
really.
we have a Slowbo backslap with the $5 super chat. Mark, is the transition to Unreal Engine 5 from Unreal Engine 4 easier than Unreal Engine 4 from 3? Also, how much better is Unreal compared to say Frostbite? By a little or a whole lot?
I don't have any experience with Frostbite. I mean, all I know is kind of what's out there publicly,
Yeah,
which it seemed like a lot of people had trouble making stuff in Frostbite, except for Dice, who was like it was made for.
Yeah. Shout out to Anthem.
But I haven't really done the transition to 5. I mean, I don't really know what the implications are on the dev side. Like, it seems like there's a lot of cool, like, rendering stuff or optimization stuff.
Okay.
Which I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna do to like the size of the game on the disc if you don't have to like how many polys will just kind of get LOD down automatically, so it'll run well. But it's like that object's gonna be a lot of memory. I don't know. So I haven't really made this transition, so I can't answer that fully. But I've been using UE4 for a bit now, and I like it. And I think probably most of the kind of dev experience will be pretty similar, I imagine, on 5. So it's definitely like, I mean, it's kind of weird as a programmer because a lot of times you're doing stuff in Blueprint, which is like this visual scripting thing, right? Which before it was all Unreal Script, which was more what you think of when you're like programming. But I still do like C++ programming. So
okay, cool.
A question. To add on to Slow-Mo's question, just a very minute question. Did they even roll out 5 fully, or did they like partially roll out 5 and then because I know it's supposed to be a giant update to the Unreal Engine 5 that they will get all the extra, bells and whistles, because I know they're working on the bridge from 4 to 5 now.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if it's fully rolled out yet. Like I haven't.
Okay.
Like we haven't rolled onto it. That's all I really know. But
cool.
But yeah, I wouldn't imagine that it would change kind of my workflow that much.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right. Fair enough. We all caught up, Sav? Or
yeah, we're caught up.
All right, cool. So look, I want to transition into the main event real quick. Chimera Squad. This is a big deal. Kind of like first, I'm assuming your first really like leadership position as far as game design on a project on an XCOM. This is your baby. So that's the first thing. And then, in my opinion, it was different because you had this cool narrative, mechanic-based things, make changes, humans and aliens kind of working together, stuff like that. City 31, this whole new vibe to XCOM. So like, what inspired the project? You know what I'm saying? Because it is different and all these new mechanics, and then also about the breaching and city unrest and all that stuff. And so the combination, what inspired the project, and then also, how did it feel to be like, yo, this is mine. This Chimera is me.
Right.
What's up?
Yeah. So the whole project came about pretty fast. For a while, I've been talking with Jake about potentially leading something, whether it be like another X2 expansion or like something else. The X2 expansion became kind of not a thing because War of the Chosen was so big that it was like, I don't even know what are we going to put in this game? What could we put in this game? So, and then, it had been a while since War of the Chosen, and we did the Tactical Legacy Pack.
Yes.
Kind of, I helped set up some stuff for that, but I didn't have a lot of design involvement with that.
Right.
But it was like, we still wanted to, give XCOM to people. So it was like, well, like the opportunity came about for like, let's do a small standalone XCOM thing. And it was, it was kind of like 2 weeks before the project started, like Jake and I were talking about like, what could it be? And then the idea of what I kind of wanted to do was kind of smaller, faster. XCOM was kind of like the major design, I guess, pillar. And it being a standalone and kind of like different lead designer, be like, well, let's just do some things differently, stuff that we had talked about trying, or some things that just I wanted to do. So with like having bespoke characters, right? Like obviously I know people love customizing characters.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you first, decided you guys are going to go that direction, I'm sure you knew there was going to be pushback there, like 100%.
But we had tried having more bespoke characters, like the Chosen, and like some people from the Resistance factions and War of the Chosen, and got a lot of positive feedback about that. So it was like, well, let's, I think we wanted to try to reach kind of the same level of attachment with soldiers that you could get from building your own story
Right.
and like customization, but do that with characterization and their kind of own uniqueness. And like we knew, like I said, that we knew there'd be some pushback there. Like I enjoy it 'cause, like, you know, I make, you know, a bunch of anime characters or whatever as my squad all the time.
Correct.
You know, but so there was that, and then it was, you know, with just kind of the nature of the project, making it kind of like smaller and faster fit as well, because it was like the project is also going to be that. So so yeah, it was like I had just a few conversations with Jake, then it was like, hey, you got a team, get going.
Nice.
Which is not enough time, by the way, to really. It's like you got,
that's what I was
you
gonna
know,
ask you.
a few dozen people. What are they doing? And I'm like, I don't know.
But like I got to back you up because you glossing over some things real quick, man.
Probably.
Like, this is like a big deal. Like you are, you know, you've been with the company for how long?
Did you panic?
No. Yeah, like what was you scared? Like,
I'm always panicking. It's my secret.
Were you 15?
he's like it's like the Hulk. What's your secret? He's like, I'm always angry.
Did you drop the grenade and throw the pen?
No, I mean,
whole squad wiped.
The whole squad wiped. Yeah. Back in the Sky Ranger days.
That actually would be funny for a panic if they did something like
they
that.
did that.
They used to do that back in
happened to
the
me.
micro pose days. Yeah, I remember those.
Never
Before
had
you
that
get off the
happen
Sky Ranger, the dude with the prime grenade dropped the joint and blew up the whole squad.
I've never had that
Blew
happen.
up the whole truck.
No, this is before your era. This is
before
PS1.
Oh, you're talking about the original.
The original.
Yeah.
Before they did the
I
reboot.
beat those two.
Yeah, before they did the reboot, but with micro pose joints was evil with that. But Jimmy panicked.
And you get shot from the dark somewhere. Like,
Yeah. Remember, and King used to see that red #1 in the corner. You'd be fearful, be like, "Where's
You'd be like, oh my
Where's that?
god,
Oh my god,
chinky eye.
Salute to the Chinky Eye aliens." But yeah, so I guess, like I said, the reason why I gotta ask you is twofold, because one, you are leading this project. Like they're coming to you and they say, yo, we got confidence in you to run this show. Like this is a big deal. Like this, we ain't gonna gloss over that. Man, how did that feel?
I mean, it felt really good. Obviously, like being like, it's weird because like being a good designer and like being a good lead designer are like very different things.
Right.
You know, I had obviously delegated a lot and worked with people from all the disciplines, like artists and UI people and audio people. So people had a good idea that, you know, I worked with people well, but it was like still like being a manager and stuff is a very different skill set.
Yes.
And that's kind of, I think, you know, to sidestep a little bit, it's like kind of a bit of a problem in game dev working it, is that like the path to promotion is like a lot of times only up to like a lead position, where it's like a lot of people are just good at the thing they do and like don't want to lead people.
Good point.
But, you know, I like once I decided I want to be a designer, it's like, you know, I wanted to be, you know, a creative director, a lead designer was like my end goal.
Nice.
I remember talking with our director, my boss, of like, I could either like go down towards like a principal programmer route and do more kind of gameplay programming, or be more design focused. And I was like, I want to be more design focused.
Nice.
I like programming. I don't, you know, I'm not in love with it.
In love with it. Got you.
So I don't know if you can answer this. How long did it take you from beginning to end to develop Chimera Squad?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer that, but I mean, it was like, you know, it was over a year, less than a decade.
Fair enough. Hold on, I gotta give my man shout out to Bad Coffee again. His tactics in the building. He said he loved the XCOM apocalypse vibes in Chimera Squad. Was that intentional or just because of the city scale setting?
It was mostly just because of the setting. I definitely looked at and talked with Jake about Apocalypse. And like we took some inspiration with like having these kind of different factions that had different goals and stuff. But you know, mechanically and stuff, we didn't, you know, draw too much from Apocalypse.
Gotcha.
So I think it's probably mostly this kind of future city setting that we were in.
Which is dope. And now my question with that too is now the breach mechanic. Because this was new to XCOM. This is very, I wouldn't say controversial. It was just something that it just never experienced. And one, you know, you're doing your planning phase. You probably have about 3 of these kind of setups per match, or like per level. And I thought it was cool because it was almost like, okay, people who are talented or different members of your team talented could breach in certain places.
these people they're pretty much SWAT. Like
Right.
that,
It was like
they
it
are.
almost became Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah,
Right?
it reminded me of Siege and Splinter Cell, where you could breach and you have an idea of like you come in with an advantage.
All I know is I always sent the Berserker first every time.
Send a shout out to the Berserker. So it's like, for me, that was a cool departure, but what was dope is the cinematic nature of it. It almost felt King, like some John Woo, boom, or some John Wick, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just cool. So like, that was bold. That was not in the series before. Like, how was your sell, or did you come up with that, or the team come together and say, okay, we're gonna put this style of thing in an XCOM game? Because that never was done before, really.
Hey, what you did on that, man? You popped in there, you found the most bad dude in there, and everyone shot him.
Take him out. Yeah, I would say that was mostly me from like at least the original idea. Like, I definitely didn't implement it the most because I'm the lead. I don't have to do that.
I just tell him what to do. I just tell him what to do.
That was the best.
That was a flex.
That was the best. He said, "Oh no."
Yeah. What am I gonna code? I did code some for ChimeraSquad.
Like, if I have to code, man, there's issues.
He said, no.
And I had to code, and there were issues.
I'm the lead. No, you code.
Talk about that breach, man. How did that come across that design table? Let's go.
So, very early, we kind of had like, I wanted to do like interiors.
Yes.
Like, XCOM 2 almost like dissuaded you from wanting to do that, because if you like bust through a door, jump through a window, you would break concealment.
Yes.
So you like really, we had these great interiors that like you didn't go in a lot.
Facts.
So I was like, well, what if it was mostly interiors? And then the idea of kind of like SWAT style stuff came up, and it was like, oh, you're fighting room to room. And we had early maps that did that, and like enemies would pretty much just always take cover by doorways and like have full cover, and you had no way to get around them. And it was like, this isn't fun at all. So the idea of like a setup phase thing where it's like you could enter a room came out pretty early. And then we had to be like, oh, you can like breach the room. And then that was like changed a lot through development. Like at first it was like a fully kind of like frozen synapse, like you plan everything and then they execute everything.
Right.
You know,
you guys
all
had
the
to
way
interleave.
through.
That's right. You go, they go. Like, that's true. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So it was, but then it was like we had to like frozen synapse, which was gives you a lot of information, and you could like rewind and like preview turns and stuff. It's like, and we didn't really want to do that. Like those games are great, but it is very slow, and we wanted this to kind of be like
Blastmaster processing.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick with that.
Yeah. I was like, it's got to be like Sonic, guys.
I can imagine that.
It's like, don't come back to me till you have something to show.
Yeah. Someone give me a chili dog.
I'm the designer.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
I'm gonna use that.
Continue. So
Want some coffee? Hold the sugar.
that man took his lead design role serious. Continue.
Somebody get me a chili dog. Wow.
So we had breach mode, but eventually another designer his name's Dakota, came up with the kind of like picking. So we before we had like you pick an ability to do and then you rush in and do it.
Right.
So we still kind of had that in the final project where you could like pick to do stuff outside the room, like you could blow up the wall or you could throw something in. Mm-hmm. But then like the extra phase of like the over the shoulder targeting was added in later. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of when it started feeling like, oh, this is pretty good, because a lot of game dev is like, this feels terrible for like 90% of the time, and then eventually something happens and you're like, that's it, we'll go with that.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
But so, and then like I did envision it as like this cinematic thing. Like I remember thinking about one of the Modern Warfares had kind of a similar thing where they would breach in rooms and everything would slow down. Mm-hmm. And we had in XCOM 2, when you would break concealment and kind of do an ambush, and like if you overwatch a bunch of people, it would kind of like shift the camera in slow-mo behind them. Mm-hmm. So like kind of elevating that to like actually have more decisions was kind of something we did as well, where you got to choose who you shot, or you got to choose to use different abilities. And then after that you would all run to cover. which we played around with letting you choose where to go, but which I think there's like some edge cases where like you probably wouldn't want to move where your guy ended up automatically moving, but that was like a very small amount of the time.
Gotcha.
And it slowed things down a bunch.
Imagine. Yeah,
so
I
was like, well, just try to put him in the bed. We figured there was a lot of like level designer bugs where it's like I ended up flanked after I ran out. But there's so much random stuff where enemy spawn. So we tried to iron as many of those out. But
you guys did.
I apologize if there was still some in there.
No, you were good, man. You guys did a phenomenal job with that. I had to shout out that mechanic. I thought that was cool, unique. It was a bold new direction. I loved it. You know, the alert, surprise. I love the city unrest mechanic, and just in general, as an XCOM fan over the years, it felt good to be able to have alien abilities on your side. And
especially that Viper one.
Yes, when the Viper with snacks, yes, good, at it, good.
You know, the Viper thing throughout the game got less and less annoying because, like, who cares? You can grab you if you're talking. I'm literally gonna shoot you next turn. Like, but at the beginning, man, they ain't nothing more annoying than him grabbing you and put you on the enemy side of the map.
Yes,
and then that dude's dead. He's good as dead.
And I got so much joy in using the bound mechanic. Because it was done to me. The snake get around you and do the boa constrictor and hold your guy, and your man is incapacitated. You got to go get the snake enemy off. Like, I loved having that on my team.
Right, yeah.
What I enjoyed the most out of Chimera Squad is how, you know, in XCOM 1, you were the people being invaded. XCOM 2, you was pretty much doing like, you know, the one in flash attacks where you was trying to take over as much territory as possible. And then XCOM 3, you're the one knocking the doors down on them and not the other way around.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Got to shout you guys on that. Thought it was amazing. Any other questions will come on to because I got something else before I move on. Addict, you good with the camera?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. So look, I got to ask the elephant in the room now. We got to put some pressure on them now. Ports. Now, the reason why I got to stress you guys a little bit because we love you guys. We guys are tremendous. You know, the question always becomes, with XCOM, there's always the PC port and then the console port will sometimes be almost a year later. So the question is, you know, from a console brethren that's in the chat, you know, with Chimera and stuff like that, like, you know, why so long between the damn ports? And when do people on console, because these some powerful consoles, Lord Mark. You got a Series X, you got the PS5. I would think people would love to play this game on console. What's your thought process on the ports?
This guy. Yeah.
I got the pressure.
Well, you know, if it were up to me, it would go on I want everyone to play it, obviously. So it would go on everything.
Jake, promotion, please.
That had to be promoted to some kind of like publisher level. I don't know if I'd enjoy that.
2K Games, let's go.
Yeah, get me up there. Get me out to San Fran.
Get them in Game Pass. Let's do it.
I mean, it would be. Listen, we got to shoot our shots now. When we got you. We don't.
No,
get
yeah.
No. Listen, hopefully, Aaron Greenberg is watching. Hey, Aaron,
Game Pass now.
Yeah, let's get it in Game Pass. I swear. And I understand we have Wasteland and we have Gears Tactics. That's nice. That's nice.
This is
but we need the OG. We need the DLC to be free because, you know, in Game Pass, DLC free. So we need to have every last piece of XCOM inside Game Pass, and that way I could partake. Aaron, so listen, shout out to Phil Dominus, Maximus, and Aurelia Spencer.
Phil, if you're listening,
we really need to have this happen. I
Jump
think that category needs to be more robust. As you can see, this young man has worked very hard to get to the position that he's in, and I don't think his game gets the proper light. And I think it would have the proper light in Game Pass. Let's have this done.
King, I think you're onto something because
that's my question about the proper light, particularly just on RTS games.
Yes.
Has there ever been kind of internally a conversation about these games are great, we know they're great, but why is it after so long they're still sort of niche and they haven't hit mainstream? Was there ever any conversation internally, or what can we do to these games to make them more appealing to just mainstream gamers, or is it like the focus on the hardcore?
Why so
no, there's always a desire to get a bigger audience because I mean, I think XCOM's one of those games where people who play it love it, and then like you know, people hear it's great, but they don't, you know,
Right.
Yeah, XCOM in particular has got a reputation for just being difficult. So
Yeah,
it's like
what it shows
hard
you
to get.
Yeah,
It's hard to get people to convince people to be like, I don't need that in my life.
I've literally convinced people, and they can't get past month 3, and then they just quit. They uninstall it. Like,
Yeah, so I mean, War of the Chosen did some stuff there of like, I think it's more forgiving XCOM game for new people. Like you start with your soldiers are more capable, like they have abilities they can use every turn, and you know, the penalty for getting randomly crit or something.
Man. You set them up. You know those people about to show up.
Yeah, but I mean, so I think it's always a discussion to get. You know, even with Civ, which is bigger than XCOM from a fan base standpoint, is you know, not at the level of like some of the other major you know game releases that come out, despite how you know kind of ubiquitous the Civ kind of franchise is.
I think like the most probably mainstream Civ is Civ Revelation or Revolution because it's a lot more casual. That game is.
No,
Yeah,
I agree. I guess, like I said, I don't know if it's the studio itself or the publisher in reference to just the weight, because you know, especially we see in these games. I mean, shout out to we had Bad Coffee in here from one of the designers from Splash Damage on Gears Tactics, and we see Gears Tactics come out. We see a lot of these games, and let's be honest, you know, you guys are the OG, right? You guys are a lot of turn-based guys. Like to kind of pattern their game after that. So, you know, we see the success of a Wasteland 3, you know, on stuff. And turn-based is kind of, you know, what is it? Emblems. What is it? From the Switch. Fire Emblem. Yeah, like Three Houses. Like, yeah. Turn-based is kind of on the tactical layer is definitely on the rise. So it's just, I'm just curious if it's a decision. I know you probably can't answer this, but I still have to ask it. Just that, is it a decision that they think, well, this is probably the PC core base first, and let's cater to that. And then maybe after we get the money on the back end or whatever, then we deal with you console plebs.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it comes from just how Firaxis is in general. Like we're, you know, despite what it may seem, like we're not, you know, our teams aren't actually like that big. Like we don't really have the capacity to do ports in-house.
Fair enough.
So a lot of, there's been efforts. It is a recent push for us to like, you know, work earlier with port partners and stuff.
Who I gotta speak to get that? who to point me in the right direction? Do I need to? Can we get Jake on or something? Point me in the direction. So I need my turn base. That's one of my favorite genres.
Send it to Jake's, you know, trash can in his inbox or whatever. No, but I agree. Like I think, you know, probably. I mean, Fire Emblem's been popular for a while, but since like Enemy Unknown. Tactics games or games with tactical layers are, you know, really popular. And then like, I think now is like this year has been a crazy year. Like so many have come out, you know, that are doing like different things now. Like for a while, I think it was like people would just kind of be like XCOM, we'll do that, but change this or do this. But now it's like Gears Tactics is not really like, you know, does not function like XCOM really. When you control it in the tactical,
because Gears Tactics more about aggression. That they want you to get up close and personal. Like XCOM can be like that, but for the most part, they do kind of want you to play defensive to a point and then go on the offensive. Like Gears Tactics, like I want you that chainsaw in his gut, and I want you killing that one with the chainsaw next.
I know it reached a different audience when I saw Mario Rabbids.
Yep,
that's what I was gonna ask you. That's what I was going to ask you.
Literally, Bad Coffee said that in the chat. He said, even Mario Rabbids coded by Italians like me. I think we all owe Firaxis and the Xcom series. The fact we're living in a new golden age for the genre. Continue.
Because I thought that was a bold move on their part as far as, you know, the strategy genre goes. Because to take their IP and to make sure that, you know, it's in that light, you know, with Ubisoft guys and the game actually come off really well and it was well received. I think that also green lighted a lot of other, you know, strategy games and tacticals, because it's one game that I'm looking for in particular. It's called Thunder. and it's indie game, and they just showed it I think a couple of months ago. But that game looks like they're going to push the genre forward, and all I'm saying is for us to all really partake, for us to really get our teeth into this, you must remove the barrier of paying and put this into a format or a system, a streaming system or a downloading
Are
system.
you implying the Game Pass service, sir?
I want to point out, Mark. Okay, let's say that they're like, you know what, Keith? I agree. Let's hit up PlayStation now and put this on here. Like, whoa.
All right, well,
we ain't talking
wait
about
a
that.
second. I am a owner of PlayStation Plus. I got my little 2-year thing. So
PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus are two
well,
different
see,
things.
there you go. I don't know. So what I would say is, for the 20 million
Game Pass subscribers.
Game Pass subscribers that really need to see your hard work and your team.
Oh my God!
I honestly believe that there should
Made
be
me
some
cry.
type of force, to have this done, and it has to be on the splash page. I would love to see coming soon or just released. XCOM, and then all the DLC. You understand? That's how they do it.
You and your Game Pass bag. I gotta salute you.
Yeah, like I did.
I do.
Being free stuff.
I'm about it.
I do have a question. When you first saw Mario Rabbids, what was your first initial thought? Because clearly that was in some way, inspired by XCOM. But it is a completely different game. I think it is one of the only XCOM. I call them Xbox clones, XCOM clones, but that's the only one I dropped. I never beat Mario Rabbids. I don't know why. There was just something about it that I was not feeling. I got about halfway through the game, and I was like, "This isn't for me," and I just dropped it. What was your initial thought when you saw that type of game?
Well, it was funny because that actually got announced at the same time as War of the Chosen, the same day, right? So we were like, oh, because Jake was there, and he was getting questions about Mario and Rabbids, and he was like, oh, never.
I remember that interview because I think someone asked him. He's like, "What do you feel about that?" He's like, "Well, he's like, they should have asked me or something."
Yeah, he did say that. Yes. I did. I remember that.
I think that what's cool about being in the tactical space is there's not. I mean, there's obviously competition. You want to do well, but it's there isn't really rivalries. I want all the tactical games to do well because it is in kind of the space of being a bit of a niche genre. So the success of any game kind of brings
attention to the genre.
The entire list.
Yeah.
And plus, because of the project that you and your team's been working on, and everyone over there, games like Mutant Year Zero was able to really capitalize. Games like there's games like Gears Tactics was able to capitalize, and Mario Rabbids, and because they're introduced to newer crowds, especially Mario Rabbids, where a lot of people are willing to try it because Mario's in it. Now when ChimeraSquad comes out, they're willing to try that out because they gave Mario Rabbids a try because it had Mario on it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like Mario Rabbids, except Mario dies.
I mean, you can always name him Mario. So
no doubt. Let's get the super chats and then we move on. So you want to get that?
First off, we got welcome to the realm, Lord Strong Kingdom.
Put the horns up.
That's my man.
Horns up.
Put low.
And then after that, we have Lord Blaze 4K with the $5 super chat. Game Pass. ... LOL. Bring it to the gods. That's so.
Just for Blaze, I do know that y'all need games over there.
Oh my God!
Because y'all actually are playing nothing right now.
Oh my God.
And we're having fun. But I have to say this, Blaze, honestly. Nobody wants to go to that barren wasteland.
Oh my
service. I mean, the Game Pass is popping. It's the real club. It's the 40-40 club. And you want everybody to go to the bodega down the block.
Oh my! Moving on.
We're not trying to do the bachata in the back.
Time. PlayStation slander. Oh,
Absolutely terrible.
Give it a shout out to Back Home. Again, the success of one game helps all the others. If a game does good and brings more fans of the genre, it's good for everyone and healthy for the genre's survival. Facts, big facts. You're onto something. So look, gotta move on because we definitely went a little late. and I got to get respect Lord Mark's time. He's been pushing it for
Yes.
us. So look, what we got to do is just one last question on the series, and then we'll move on. As far as the elephant in the room, and we know at some point that XCOM 3 has to be hopefully in development. And from the timeline, I think you explained it before, I believe in the Polygon article, as far as canon, right? So we've got, what is it, Enemy Unknown, then it's that book, was it Resurrection, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, and Chimera. Is that correct from a canon standpoint?
So the timeline that Chimera Squad exists in is you lose XCOM Enemy Unknown pretty early.
Right.
And then XCOM 2 happens and you win, and then you're in this world with aliens and humans.
Yes.
And
City 31.
X-Advent hybrid living together.
Okay. So Chimera Squad is canon on the record. We can say that? Or we can't? Or
I mean,
in trouble?
as far as I know,
okay.
I didn't get decanonized already. I don't know.
All right, no doubt. So we got canon.
Like he missed the meeting. It's
been a long winter break. I don't know what happened.
So the question I know you probably can't answer, but I have to ask is, one, how far are we possibly from potential next entry into the series, XCOM 3, right? Which I know you're going to dance with, but I got to ask. And as far as Chimera Squad being such an evolution to the series, does these mechanics kind of now influence the direction of the franchise moving forward? Or is that just kind of like a one-off, we're trying some things, this doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be an XCOM 3? Because the fans of the series are curious about that. I just want to know if you could answer any of these.
All right, I'll answer the second part first.
I figured you would. Continue.
And I hope I'm out of time. So with any game we make, we're always looking for what fans respond to, what they like. So Chimera Squad's not an exception. We obviously tried some stuff that was more out there. I think there's potentially like a lot of the kind of stuff we did there, potentially wouldn't be appropriate for a sequel. Like I wouldn't have made the same decisions if I knew I was making a sequel.
Right.
But it's like there might be elements of things that we like that we could bring over. I don't know. I can't really get into specifics, but it's like we're always looking for feedback and like.
What was the best feedback you got from Chimera Squad?
The best feedback?
Yeah, like in all the new features that was implied into Chimera Squad.
It was like very positively received.
Like for instance, like Breach. Did people like Breach? Did the majority of the community like Breach? Did some people
I think
hate
most
it?
people like Breach. I think it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit. Like you have to do it so much.
Right.
But I think one of the more surprising things to me was like how kind of universally popular having aliens on your squad was. I think there was some grumbling about it early, but then like pretty much everyone liked it, which was like that was one of the things where it was like, I don't know if people are gonna like that. But then everyone was kind of like how you guys were. You're like, it was awesome. I got to use like a Viper now, so that was that was like, whew, thank God.
No,
that was a big part of the whole story.
No, you guys did good. So again, I know we got to tread carefully because we can't get you in trouble, but we still have
I mean, the only thing I'll say about the first part of the question is it's not like I'm doing nothing at work, right?
Woo! My man! I didn't even think you was gonna go there. That's salute.
Who knows what we're working on?
Who knows what could happen with a 3 on it?
But everyone, there's never any downtime at a
They're working on Snoopy's Grand Adventure 3.
Listen, man. Hey, the man said he is busy. He's continually to work on things, so that puts me in a positive space that potential things could be happening with that amazing XCOM.
Who can say? But
Yeah, you never know. Microsoft is buying time. So, he could be under NDA.
He could be under NDA because the film might be buying Firaxis
what's crazy,
Studios.
Lord Mark? King is on his best behavior right now.
Yo, Portia, he's mad unprofessional. He's XCOM 3 confirmed, reporting right. No. We're not going to do that to Lord Nauta. We're not getting that man in trouble.
I really liked his grind. And he said he was 23 in 2013. I thought he was 23 now. Right. So I'm like, man, he's a lead. So trust me, I'm listening to all your knowledge, and you're growing from this space to that space. So it's really intriguing to listen to everything that you're going through and how you're controlling and handle it. I mean, somebody give me a chili dog was
was amazing.
So yeah, and honestly, no, I just really want people to really grasp this genre more. I don't think that it's in the light that it needs to be. Because when you get to these turn-based strategy type games, these games are so much fun, especially when it's done right. And he's telling you all the stuff that goes into it. So I don't want to take away from your time by me talking and running my mouth. You know, so I just want to just hear you talk more.
No, salute, man. I mean, tremendous history. Let's get super chats, and I'll wrap up with them. You want to get Living Flame, I believe, or who else?
Yeah, we have the Living Flame with $2 super chat. There's no Sunday without the Lords being messy.
Of course, we got to be messy. I had to be messy at the end. I'm sorry.
No dancing in the bodega.
Sorry.
Then we have Micah Skew Jr. $2 super chat. Salute y'all. Football is lit.
Salute, Skew. Thanks for joining the round, brother. Again.
And then we have the Insipid Ghost Xbox expansion pass $2 super chat. Salute, my friends. Happy New Year. Likewise to you, sir.
Salute. Tremendous podcast. The Xbox expansion podcast. Salute. Insipid Ghost. But yeah, man, like again, salute Lord Nauta. Just tremendous history. Amazing story. So proud of what you guys are doing at Firaxis. Tremendous team. You guys are iconic. You know, you guys push the genre forward. The things that you do in turn-based. I always look forward to every XCOM game that comes out. But before you go, we gotta ask that top 5 question that we ask all the lords in the realm. Are you ready? I need Lord Mark Nauta's top 5. Oh, he cracked it neck. He ready. He said, top 5 video games or franchises of all time. This is your personal list.
And they don't have to be in order.
Any order. Just these are the impactful ones for you.
Well, top 1. You know. Go out to my Super Smash Brothers Melee. Hashtag free Melee.
Free Melee. Right. Salute. Huge.
I mean, it's the only 20-year-old game that I play regularly, so it's gotta mean something.
Bust out the controller, he official. Let's go.
That's the one he travels with.
Get back on the. I would get demolished at an actual tournament, but I get L cancel and wave dash.
So we got that. We got that smash. Let's go.
I think Mass Effect is definitely up there for me.
You could say the correct Mass Effect. Just
Mass Effect, only Mass Effect 2.
My man.
Let's
go.
You threw the rest of the bushes.
I mean, it's only right at the number 2 spot. It's only right.
You have just now re-sparked this nonsense.
I might clip this.
He's gonna clip. Listen,
I might clip this. It's so glorious.
After every podcast,
he's gonna clip.
We do a clip.
And that's the thing, because he has admin power.
Are you
manipulate this how he wants.
We do a clip after every podcast. We do a clip. We put it on Twitter and we promote the podcast with that clip. $20. Say that part where you said Mass Effect 2 is going to be the clip. And you know how I know that, Lord Mark? Because every time someone says that, that's the clip.
Look, it's so many nuggets I can grab for this. All right, so that's 2.
And not because I said that it won't be in there.
I love all of them. I actually wrote BioWare a letter after 3 because I got so much backlash that I was like, hey, I really love the game. You guys did a great job. Don't listen to all the
that's what's up. That's what's up. So we got those 2. Number 3.
Oh, man. I really should have thought about this beforehand. There's so many.
It's all good.
I mean, I guess I'll just say Final Fantasy in general. Like, I don't love every Final Fantasy game.
Which one?
Oh, no. Here we
go.
No, you gotta say your
This
favorite.
is another debate. Do not walk into this.
No, he needs to walk all into this.
He doesn't know which one either.
He doesn't know which one we side on either. This is another one. Which Final Fantasy?
I'm not gonna cop out and say Tactics, even though I love Tactics.
Oh, Tactics is an amazing one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not the one. So you can't say that one.
can't say the one that's
He can say the one he likes. What the hell is this?
Which Final Fantasy, in your opinion, is the greatest Final Fantasy?
Oh man, this is such a trap.
He's scared. You don't know which one.
It's just his Final Fantasy.
Look what you've done to him.
If you want to guess, look at my blonde kind of emo hair. Which one?
Yo,
It's
you
7.
Welcome back. every show that
This
you
is
want to
the
come.
clip.
I love 6.
Listen,
I love
this is-
6. as
Thank
well.
you.
Listen, this is the
No,
clip.
but he said 7 first. We're
No,
not gonna
7
act like he just brushed over 6 and went
King,
to
this the
7.
clip. This the clip.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, people just really don't get that part that 7 is the GOAT. Period.
Woo!
Right?
Now,
And
now,
the
now
reason-
all he has to say is Zelda.
And
Yeah,
the
but
reason-
7's not the GOAT because it's the best.
No, no. Stop. I'm not saying that.
Time.
But there you go.
No, I'm just saying that 7 is the GOAT for what it did.
Exactly. That's
You know,
and I'll never take that away from me.
Yeah.
Never.
So regardless to what
You're
you
kind of
think,
trying to
7
take it
is
away
better.
from him.
The man was
He did it.
influenced
He did
by
it, man. He's
greatness.
having a he's on fire.
You
right now.
realize, you know what's funny, Lord Mark? Every one of yours is an inside joke on which one's
Yeah,
better.
it's funny. I know. It's
Oh, no.
naturally like he did it. So
This
okay,
is
we-
beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
So we got that
Sorry,
Final
Mark, I
Fantasy
just
VII.
have to bunch you in with the basic game.
Oh my God! The disrespect, the Lord Mark, our lead
I mean, that's
designer.
all that's fine. I don't hate the people. You know, I hate some people.
You can't help the people with their narrow-mindedness. That's just what it is. All right, so you got that. We got that. We got the Smash. We got the Mass Effect 2, which is just amazing. We got the Final Fantasy 7, and then what was the one we missed? What was the one I missed in the middle? Damn.
Oh, I had to Melee first, and then Mass Effect, and then we're only at 3.
We had
so-
three.
We only at 3.
Oh, we only had 3.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we got two more.
I think I don't play it a ton anymore, but I grew up, kind of middle school playing a bunch of Halo, so I'd have to put that up there.
Salute.
Particularly, I played so much Halo 2 online that it was like
Yes.
probably unhealthy. So
Shout out to Xbox Live. You got that
Yeah.
gamer tag,
it was a revolution on playing on like DSL or whatever I was playing on.
And have no fear, Mark. There's no inside joke with Halo. Continue.
I mean, someone's like, "You think 2's good?"
Which Halo? Nah, we ain't gonna do that to you.
I mean, Chimera Squad, I actually looked at like ODST is kind of like a game that like did a similar thing,
Yep.
where it was like
Yeah.
a side game and like a big franchise.
Absolutely. Good inspiration there. Absolutely. And final one.
Oh
Amongst our
man,
five.
I'm probably gonna miss some like crazy.
Goodness. Personal influence.
I mean, I feel like just based on the thousands of hours I play, I have to say Overwatch. Like I love
Overwatch
Overwatch.
is good.
Um,
Who's your
it's
favorite
tough
character?
because it like doesn't have kind of like
a story.
it doesn't have. It's got it has
Game
more,
of the year.
but it doesn't have.
Uh,
But I mean, I have a lot of stories playing with friends. Like I usually play with a big group, so
dope.
Favorite character?
character.
I'm gonna become like even more basic. I'm just like my boy Genji. I love
Yo,
playing Genji.
ninjas! Yo, he's the greatest guy. He's the
Stop
greatest.
acting like
He's the
you
greatest.
even play with
I
games.
also
No, I
I
play
play everything. Like, I love playing Winston, but he's like super bad right now, so I don't get to play him.
Yeah, he needs a buff.
Salute, man. Tremendous top 5. Oh, and the last one. Console. One console of all time. out of
Oh,
all
we
the
already
years.
know that answer.
Platform, man.
Oh man, one console all time.
Yeah. What impacted you the most?
I want to be like a hipster, be like just Dreamcast with its like 13 games.
Nah, bro, a lot of people say Dreamcast too. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yep.
you get a lot of people that say Dreamcast.
They're wrong, but they say Dreamcast.
I feel like I would actually go with GameCube because of Melee, and like, there's a lot of GameCube games I love. Like I love playing Custom Robo. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, Wind Waker. That's the first one. Wind Waker.
Yeah,
That's a good Zelda. Anything but,
Skyward Sword.
anything with
I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Skyward
Yeah,
Sword.
yeah,
Skyward Strike. Ugh,
Oh,
motion control.
oh, get him! Oh, he's been
Skyward
addict.
See,
If he-
he's
if he
definitely
yelled out
welcome
Sky-
back.
If
He's
he would have
definitely
yelled out
welcome back.
Skyward Sword,
He just
That's
mocked it. Clearly, he didn't
no,
like
no,
it.
I understand. I understand. It's like Sovereign said, it's not for everyone.
Look, man, Lord Mark, man, tremendous history. An absolute pleasure to have you in the round. We rocked way longer past than we could kept you for. But, man,
It's all right.
salute to you, man. Where can the fine people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
Well, I mean, really, the only real way to interact with me is on Twitter. I'm like, I think M_Nauta.
Nice.
I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. But yeah, my DMs are open. You can at me if you want.
Salute.
As long as you're respectful. Otherwise, you get that fat block.
Exactly. Hit him.
Um,
Bang, bang.
I'm sure all your fans will be fine. But and then I'll be when we start getting around to announcing stuff, I'll probably be more active on there. I'm
And
semi-active now.
We'll be looking for you to return when you start announcing stuff. Hopefully, sir. Hopefully.
But yeah, I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. It was really fun. I'm glad that I really appreciate the kind of you trying to bring devs forward and get people to realize what goes into making games, because like we were talking about before the podcast started, it's every game is like a miracle that it even comes out.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have one question that we kind of ask all the devs that come on. What is the most thing that you see on Twitter that is like the most misunderstood thing about developing? Because you got a lot of armed developers, and especially on Twitter, that think they know exactly what goes into making a game, and they know the ins and out, and they say stuff like that can't be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that generally is like, oh, why can't they just change this? I think one of the things with game design in general that I think people don't understand, and even kind of when you're learning about game design isn't clear, is like how much of it is about finding compromises that still fit your vision for the experience you want, but also like can be done in the amount of time and money that you have. Like a lot of game design education and stuff is like you're this kind of like lead with like no restrictions on you, and it's like you can iterate as much as you want and like figure out do exactly what you want, but it's like when you're developing in an IP and you have time restrictions, it's like you had to meet expectations of, what do fans expect from the IP? What does the publisher want from it? And then also like, is this kind of thing the thing that we have time to do? Or like, this is going to take a lot of time. Is it worth it? Or do we need to invest these people's time somewhere else?
No, fair enough.
So, but like a lot of probably some of your favorite parts of games are born out of these crazy, like, we got to make this work. Like, what can we do? And then it's like, someone's like, oh, I love that part. And you're like, I made that because like we were out of time. Total shortcut.
Shortcut. No, I get it. It's funny when you hear the stories and hear how things come together. And sometimes things are so last minute or 11th hour, and then it makes it in and it ends up becoming this amazing mechanic. And like you said, you're like, oh, we barely
plan from the start.
Exactly.
Yeah, we definitely have like a saying, like we don't like using the term like developers being lazy because because people don't understand what's going on behind closed doors, and I think it's like mad disrespectful just to claim something's lazy and you literally have zero knowledge
of it.
Like,
all they got to do is I don't know why they care, that kind of stuff.
I mean, all my coworkers and stuff are like some of the most hardworking and like creative people that I've like ever met. So
absolutely.
And I'm sure it's like that at pretty much every studio. Like game industry jobs are like lower paying than like other software engineer jobs. So it's like the people that are here really love it, and like as a lead, like people who aren't designers give me feedback about stuff all the time just because they care about how the game plays. So
that's amazing, man. Again,
you call them lazy, then that's an instant block for me as well.
Salute.
One last question from Mark from the chat. We have RRD with the $2 super chat. Mark's opinion on Game Pass, good or bad for devs?
I think it's kind of like it's still up in the air. Like I love that, like with anything like this, I think it depends on the studio. Like it's great for game, I'd love that it gets like potentially a bunch of people that wouldn't play a game to look at it. There's a lot of like I remember Rocket League was free on PS Plus, and it was like that was super good for them. Like they had this huge player base for their multiplayer game immediately.
Facts.
And that led to more sales and stuff on Steam and stuff like that. Like I don't think we don't have the data on how it, like I don't have any personal experience within it, but but I mean I think in general I'm in favor of I want games I make to get into people's hands as much as possible.
So you hear that, Aaron? Aaron, I mean, listen, basically what he just said, and he can't say it because you understand his situation. Aaron, listen, man, let's get his game inside Game Pass. Let's show him the metrics and drop the bag off. Let him see the bag first. Hit him with the bag.
I think Mark would like the bag.
The developers get paid. And then show him exactly the metrics on how it reaches 20 million people. And also show him how all the DLC, which is free inside Game Pass, gets funded through Microsoft's.
I feel like I'm in an infomercial.
I mean, I think it's absolutely time for this game to be inside Game Pass yesterday.
Anyway, moving on as we kept them on. Again, salute Lord Mark Nauta of FiraxisGames, lead designer of ChimeraSquad, the legend of the XCOM franchise, as well as War the Chosen Man. An absolute pleasure and honor. You guys, again, set the gold standard when it comes to turn-based tactical games. Can't wait to see what you guys are working on next, man. Absolute pleasure, and hope to have you back in the realm in the future, man. Enjoy your Sunday, bro. This was an absolute pleasure.
Yes. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me. You know, my DMs are still open. I'm happy to come back. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Nice. We would love to have you back, brother.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
All right, you too, brother. Have a good one, man. Peace. So, but we caught up with Supers.
I believe we are. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, that was a very good first guest of the year.
Yeah.
And I know it meant a lot for you guys. To
I'm
be honest
sorry.
with
We were out of
I mean, my education with XCOM is earlier on, and you know, with XCOM 2, as far as you know, not getting to the DLC that you guys got a chance to touch.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
That's what really made a highlight.
Yeah.
Like I can honestly say that, like, when they made, it's exactly like he said. Like when they made War of the Chosen, like they're like, what else could we possibly do? Because like War of the Chosen, I'm still myself, like, I don't know what else they could do to top that.
Yeah,
like,
that to me was one of the goals. Yeah, salute Omar, put up the heart side. He's in the chat.
Yeah.
Salute, brother.
I mean, honestly, for him to be as young as he is and to have experienced, listen, man, he's the lead right now. And that's more greatness to come. So he's learning for whatever things that came before him. So when y'all talked about part 3, and I'm pretty sure that they're working on stuff and have stuff drafted up, or maybe they have a totally different IP.
I heard it was something new.
A new IP in a whole new direction and stuff like that, and taking all that information that they do have. Man. Yeah, somebody get this man a chili dog now. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, he was in his bag, man. Salute to him for
really
coming
good.
through. I mean, again, tremendous guest. Try to get as much of you guys' questions as possible. You know, obviously, I was going to say, y'all, I know we went super long. I want to do a condense if y'all don't mind.
Let's go.
And then
because I got to eat.
Solve, we combine ours together with Switch.
That's 100%.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's get into that. But before we do that, we got a poll, I believe. Last week's poll results are in. The people have spoken to the question: which initial negatively received IP deserves a chance at redemption by the gaming community? The winner of the 4-way ILP poll at 48% was Cyberpunk 2077. Coming in at second place at 32% was I Don't Care, Craig the Grunt gonna silence the haters in 2021. In third place at 12% was Anthem 2.0. And in last place, only 7% of the vote was Next Mass Effect Group. Shout out to all the lords who participated. And the people have spoken. Cyberpunk is what it is. Yeah. So we're going to get into this topic.
That game came out?
Yo, you stupid.
I heard it didn't come out yet. I heard it came out for those dudes that's playing them old systems.
Oh my God.
Come out yet. When it shows up, let me know.
Let you know. So, King, this is your topic. You want me to frame it real quick? Then we get into
Yes,
it?
please.
All right, cool. So, look, man, PS4s right now, it looks like Japanese outlet Game Watch reporting that Sony's going to be discontinuing all but one PS4 model. Why is King dancing? In Japan, only the 500 gig Slims will remain in production as Sony Japan pivots its attention to PS5. That means all other models, including the PS4 Pro, have been discontinued with no new stock on the way. And it just said, they just talking about the console storage and stuff like that. But yeah, they said that according to another Twitter user, a Japanese retailer also posted that 5 PS5 models aren't being restocked due to the manufacturer ending production. So this is the word, Lord King. You're feeling that you have to bring this to the realm.
Nah.
Oh my God.
Nah. Hey. Goodbye. Now this only bodes well for PlayStation owners. All right, let's cut production on that whack old system and let's move forward. Because we believe in generations, right? So we believe in the generation of the PlayStation 5, and going forward, we will only, stock the 500 gig joint in the bushes. Let's, for little Timmy that needs a PlayStation 4 to play all the games that is cross-gen, which is every game they have coming. But the PlayStation 5 is selling at a rate that has forced them to just abandon the PlayStation 4. And I think that is the proper move going forward. Let's stop focusing on the old stuff. Let's focus on the new stuff. And this only means great stuff as far as getting games to just run on the PlayStation 5. Because it will be a conflict of interest, in my opinion, if they're still producing the PlayStation 4, that means there's still new PlayStation 4 owners, and you don't want somebody that just purchased a PlayStation 4 and, you know, they're not making games for it. They say just, you know, play the old library. So yeah, stop production on it. So that way you don't have that person that just went out and purchased it. And it can be just like, you know, an entry console to the PlayStation ecosystem with the PlayStation 4 500 gig, and let them start focusing on getting more PlayStation 5s out there. Cause I still have a couple of friends of mine who don't have one, who do want one. And get those consoles to everybody's hands, and then change the attention towards this new generation and game design and stuff like that. So I just saw this up there. I know Microsoft has done the same, so I'm keeping the same energy on both sides of the fence when they stop production on Xbox One X. And you know, I think they're only doing like the digital only one right now. They dropped production on the other consoles, I believe. So I think this is the proper thing going forward for both console manufacturers. So
Lord Addict, your thoughts? PS4 is discontinued.
I don't care. I'm not buying another PS4, so let that get discontinued. It don't matter to me. If you ain't bought a PS4 by now, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Like you just, I don't know. I don't even have an acknowledge for it. Let's just move on. Let's act like this never happened. Solve. What do you think?
I mean, they're gonna keep selling you that Slim. Eventually, that Slim is gonna be $1 to $200, and they're gonna keep selling you that. It makes sense to kill the Pro because the Pro at this point never really got a price drop, so it's the same price as the old digital PS5. So you know, why not just focus on ramping up that PS5 development and get PS5s in people's hands and not the Pro? So it doesn't make any sense for them. And since the price didn't go down, you could assume that it still costs them, you know, whatever it's been costing them to make that, because there'd be no reason not to drop the price. Same thing with the One X. That's why the One X didn't become the base Xbox, because it's still too expensive to manufacture. And when you have a $300 system in the Series S, it doesn't make any sense.
Completely.
So yeah, you know, it makes sense. And the other PS4s that are being, you know, those are like, you know, special editions and stuff like that had limited runs anyway. So it is interesting to see that it's so fast, right? Because they didn't stop making PS3s until well into the PS4 generation.
That's a good point.
So it is interesting, but again, I guess it speaks to the popularity of the PlayStation. Nobody can find it, and they feel they can make up that difference by just cutting out these other consoles that, you know, they could make money on, but it would require too much, and it would take away from PS5 production. So good on them.
I'm with you. You guys said pretty much the same thing I'm saying. Common sense. Just like the Xbox One X, you know, that was discontinued. Remember, there was this whole, it's going to be confusion when the Series X comes.
You don't remember when J-Dub hit me? Oh, who's the most powerful now? Not y'all. Not y'all.
At the end of the day, it's just, you know, they discontinued that, I believe, July 2020, and they got rid of those, and then that's how you slowly transition everybody over to the new gen. You know, so I'm cool with that. You consolidate. You got now PS4 Slim, PS5 digital, PS5 regular.
You give them less options.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
They're naturally just gonna gravitate towards a new thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Three
in the store.
SKU approach. You know, not gonna confuse people, and consolidate transition. That's it. Let's get the super chats before we move on to the next.
That's what they were saying. Like, people were so confused. I don't think so.
No doubt.
We got Rubber Knob with the $5.
I love, he added me on Xbox. Shout out to my man Rubber Knob. I can't wait to have him in the chat, because I'm gonna introduce him to my friends as my man Rubber Knob.
Okay, continue.
Morning, Lords. Green thumbs be glowing. Spent the weekend planting bushes, even some spiky ones already for 2021. Somebody gonna get cut in the bushes.
Somebody gonna get thrown into some spiky bushes. Like the PlayStations.
Then we got the wise old gamer with the $5 super chat. It's time for my meds, and God knows how I'll be afterwards. I want to just stop by and show some love. Now I gotta go get ready for my sponge bath. You get that sponge bath. Yeah, everybody show some love to the wise old gamer. He recently had to get back into the hospital, but Thankfully,
man.
he has his own room. He has his
Consoles with him.
so he will be entertained in addition to games with fun
Yeah,
fast. So
salute.
good
That's
on you,
right.
sir.
Salute to you, Wizo, from the
No,
hospital.
we gotta get
man.
on Destiny Wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt. Salute to him, man.
We have the Living Flame with the $2 super chat. I know where this is going. Get him, King. Hashtag Book of X.
No doubt. We all
And
good.
then we have Perfect Shogun with the $5 super chat. Hit that like button.
100% chance. XCOM
yeah.
reference. Salute.
There we go.
Salute. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, we're good. We're
All
good.
right, cool. So we're gonna move on, and we're probably gonna do a little combination, right? So
Yeah, real
we're
good.
doing so you got next level, and then I'll set up basically Nintendo's purchase, and I'll set up the Switch Pro.
Yeah. So Nintendo went out and purchased NextLevelGames. NextLevelGames has basically been a second-party developer for them for the longest time. So it was kind of strange to see them purchase them because they usually have those relationships that stick. They have no need to purchase these companies.
Right.
But I kind of feel like with the consolidation of the games industry coming with the big purchase that Microsoft made, it has everybody a little bit on their toes. Like, let me gobble up as much as I can because I may not have access to these companies in a couple of years, especially if, obviously Microsoft is going to continue to grow Game Pass. So they want more stuff. And everybody has a price, right? Everybody can be purchased. And eventually PlayStation has to start pivoting towards that as well. So they're going to be looking at making purchases, obviously not as big as the ZeniMax purchase, but they could potentially take off. They could potentially take off take developers off the table. Right. So I think it's a smart move on Nintendo's part. The difference between Nintendo and other companies is that they don't buy developers because of what the developer brings to them. They buy the developer so they can make Nintendo games, right? Right. And so this is ideal for them because this company has made games in the past. They made NFL hits in the past. They made the Captain America game for Xbox 360, if anybody remembers that. But for the most part, most of their success has come with Nintendo IPs, with Strikers and obviously Luigi's Mansion. So I think it's a great move. I think they needed to do it. And it's weird because Nintendo doesn't come off as the company that acknowledges and realizes this stuff is coming. Right. Sometimes the wave comes and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" So it's kind of good that they're preemptive about this and they know they gotta kind of lock up some developers. So
that's the first part with the next level. For me, it was just the Switch Pro. Obviously, new rumors once again. You know what I'm saying? Once again, there's another hot leak, and apparently some guys, I can't pronounce his name, Scary M, but he's like some reverse hacker who's supposedly reputable. So anyway, look, code name Alua. I can't AULA. Aula. Yeah. So it's been data mined. It's supposed to have 4K support, OLED screen. Potentially a new dock for added power. And again, it said that this real-time 4K, the SoC chip is on the clock. It says current Switch models will not be able to take advantage of this new dock that will have more power. And then they said that the speculation is there will be games optimized for the new revision of the Switch, just as there was with the DS and the PS4 Pro. And so pretty much, like I said, this guy's supposed to be known in this, reverse hacker engineering scene. Now his tweets have been since taken down. I don't know if that means that he's got the cease and desist or Nintendo someone said he frauded. So if something's going on, So again, let's start with the Next Level Games and thoughts on Switch Pro. Addict.
You guys know how I feel. But
he's like, I'm about to start eating.
I'm about to order pizza. You see how he tilted to the side?
I'm actually these topics first, and then did the interview after.
Like I'm just generally mad tired. Like, look, I think that they should have a system that's stronger, and the only reason I feel like that should be done is not for first party stuff. It's for third party stuff. You got your handheld one, and then I think they shouldn't be a hybrid one. There should be a handheld one and then there should be a console one that plays third-party games like Call of Duty, et cetera, et cetera. But you can only play those third-party titles on that hardware. You can't play it on the handheld one.
They're not doing that.
Well, no, but see, the thing is like you're not going to get these games anyway. So it's just like so it's either you make this type of
split the base.
it's not that you splitting the base.
Well,
You're giving
actually,
the
he's
option.
right.
You're giving the option to play games they wouldn't have been able to play anyway. There's a reason Cyberpunk's not on there because the console physically can't do it.
That's not true.
So
Because I just saw the Atari VCS.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
I mean, and it's pretty much playing Cyberpunk how Cyberpunk is playing on everybody's console now. Horribly.
But all I'm saying is, you know, people buy Nintendo games mainly for their first party, for the Pokemon, for the Luigi's Mansion, because they just bought that company. And all I'm saying is, like, certain games, they run bad if they're third party. I mean, look at the magicry that they had to do to get Diablo, not Diablo, Doom running on the Switch. Like, all I feel like is, you know, if you want that third party support, but you don't want to buy a PC, you don't want to buy the other consoles, it would be nice to have a machine that's at your house that is a Switch. It still plays the Switch games.
Right.
But it can also play those third-party support that you wouldn't have got regardless.
Right. What about, let me answer this, what about when they've been experimenting with the cloud stuff with control? So let's just say they give the old Switch guys the cloud option, like, you know, like you guys are saying with Halo Infinite, right? You guys want Halo Infinite to come next gen only.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Yeah, but let's just say, you know, your needs are coming to us. So we already know this is. It's only a matter of time. So. Resistance is futile for your needs.
Plot twist. He lost his knees.
All jokes aside, you know, what about that option? You know what I'm saying? With the Switch, you know, the old Switch, you know, maybe getting the cloud version and maybe the Switch Pro, you know, being able to do what it do.
I think that when it comes to a situation like that, if they can make it work, cool, make it work. But at the end of the day, the Switch is a portable machine anyway. So, like, are we going to be able to stream stuff without your Wi-Fi at home? Like, are we going to be able to do it over, you know, a mobile carrier, like a hotspot? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe when 5G is like a common thing, stuff like that's things that people don't really take into account.
It might be
like,
a companion console.
We are
Addict's point.
We are seeing a world that is building up for 5G.
Right.
For like these streaming apps, et cetera, et cetera.
Nintendo's putting 2G in their box.
But, what I'm saying is Nintendo, I think that's their answer to third party. It's like, look, we don't care about our third party, but we do understand that some people do.
Like, Addict, you got to think about their chipset. Their chipset is NVIDIA, right?
And it's still a Tegra 1. Like,
right, but the new chip won't be a Tegra 1.
No, that's what they're saying. It's just up clocked. That's what they're saying.
Oh, throw this.
He not about it no more. He not about
it. Look, the added power is supposed to be in the new dock, right? You will get a higher clock speed on the portable machine, so old stuff will run a little faster.
I heard that you can't use it in a new dock.
But that's one of the rumors. Yeah, they say one of the rumors is that it can't be.
It can't be. It has to be this new console. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're doing Tegra 1, you're just being defiant and ignorant. Right now, you're just at the ignorant stage, and you just don't want. You want to be crushed. You think you know what happens? I cannot stand these dudes that think they can't get broken. Like, you really think because you've been on this 26, 28 month roll that it just can't stop. Remember before? Y'all used to be the hotness, right?
Are you not feeling Switch coming in hot for MPD everyone?
No, I don't. Listen, they can rock as much as they want to rock. That is cool. You can really rock on any block. I don't care. But I tell you this: you put that Tegra 1 in there. You think you gonna say that Call of Duty? Nah,
but they
winning. Something that's winning MPD
every month. They not listening. They buy.
Well, it's sitting inside my living room, dead as a doornail. I don't care what it's doing.
They won the launch of new consoles.
Yeah, new consoles out, and they beat PS5 and Series 8.
I don't care what they're doing in Tommy's house. I don't care.
But that's the millions
I want them to do something in my house. I purchased them. So I want them to get busy in my house. And right now, they have not been getting busy. So whatever they doing every month, selling it to everybody across the globe, that's their business. I say this. If you put Tegra 1 in that box, mark my word, you're looking for death. You have marked yourself for death. Because listen, this Xbox Series X and this PlayStation 5 is not playing. And all those when those games
Are you okay, King?
take advantage of these consoles and Nintendo sitting there on their hands playing Luigi Mansion 4, it's not gonna work.
Yo, I think that's why
it hasn't worked this whole generation for them.
No, it
they've literally won like
Cyberpunk came out. This came out.
Since they've came out,
all the dope Sony exclusives came out. They have survived
only
it
lost
all.
like 3 or 4 NPD since they came out.
You know what's kind of crazy? They have been producing that Tegra 1 chip at such a rate that they getting those little things out the door. So it's available. You ran inside the store. You was like, yo, let me get that PlayStation 5. Let me get that Series X. Let me get an S. Let me get a digital 5. What's up? They like, nah, bro. We ain't got that. We got that Switch, though.
Wait, they don't even have the Switch. The Switch is sold out everywhere, too.
Nah, they got those. I can't. don't try to act like those things ain't there. Them things is there. They selling to somebody. They are in the store. I seen them in the store when I go in there. It's never been a day except for when they first came out.
King's World.
You know what? I'm gonna go to Walmart, and I'm not gonna take a picture.
They just not stocking them over there.
I'm going to go to Walmart, and I'm going to just tweet on Twitter and say, King, there's like 24 Xbox Series X's here, man.
You're
like,
lying.
Like, this is ridiculous,
If you
King.
find a store,
no one's buying them, King. Why are they here, King?
If you find a store with Xbox Series X stocked in the corner, please let me know. Let me know. Okay.
But King, don't you think that because they've been winning every month and still beating these powerful systems, like what's gonna empower them to do that?
Listen here, buddy. All this stock inflation that y'all doing, the bottom is gonna fall out of your market and you're gonna hit your head on the floor. It's gonna happen. I cannot.
We've been waiting for a year now.
Yes,
2 years.
You know what? These dudes have been slowing. Other ones have been slowing down. They have no games. I'm gonna keep it a buck with those dudes.
No games for
those
you.
are really dudes that don't got no games over there.
King's full of the addicts, bro.
Nah, they don't got no games. They don't got nothing compelling for me.
See, the thing is,
so because they don't have nothing compelling for you, the rest of the world does not matter.
I have to stop you there. All right?
No, it's Valhalla there.
Why don't you let me talk? Why don't you let me talk? You like over talking people when you're wrong, but we ain't gonna go into that, right?
Yeah.
So last year,
right.
I don't think I booted that Switch one time.
Facts.
Right.
And they won every MPD last year.
They clearly are not going to y'all demographic. Whatever it is, it's winning.
They are not. Absolutely. Like, you know what? Except for you two dudes, there's no second purchasing. I'm not buying a standstill, and I don't care.
It ain't gonna be a standstill. I'm gonna tell you right now. They've hit their mid-gen. They've hit their mid-gen for the Switch, right? That's why a lot of the stuff that I see in this data mine, like the OLED screen, bro, they're not giving us that. They're not giving us that. I can see. Look, I can see 1080p. I can see that. I can see the upclock Tegra chip to make it a little faster. I can see a brighter screen. I can see even better battery life. Those are the types of improvements that they make. We're not going to get the quality. We're not going to get the quality of life stuff.
They're not doing
so
nothing.
If they do the 4K, which would be bonkers to me. If they do the 4K, it would be in the dock.
If they do the 4K, I'll bend the knee to King. Like
the 4K would still have
I don't believe they're doing none of that.
The 4K would still have to incorporate the old machine. Like they already made the mistake of making a machine that only played certain games.
Yo, what if Saul?
Nintendo said Nintendo is the TLC of gaming world.
Yo, what if, right? What if? Because you know how when you get too high on your own supply, right? What if right now their heads are floating in the cloud and they're like, yo, let's drop that new console, right? And they drop a whole new console with the whole new dock. Is not even a dock. Is a console. It's for the living room because we already got the Switch like they did the DS. We already got that, and we can make games for that. And this is Nintendo's new foray into the next generation. Not even no mid-gen refresh. This is not a Pro. This is just a full-blown console that can actually play stuff. What if they bump their head in
I mean,
they said it's still gonna have the component of
listen. Look at when I was on Brap recently. We talked about this. Lobo talked about this. It's like, and people were like, and Forte was like, nah, there's no way. But like me and Slow-Mo were like, look, this is Nintendo we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like they can look at the numbers and be like, we're doing fantastically. Throw that in the bushes.
Yeah.
We're gonna start over. Like this is Nintendo. This is what they do. This is what they do. Because the thing is, with the Switch, right? With the Switch, you're assuming that they looked at what went wrong with the Wii U and looked at the market and they were like, okay, where do we fit in here, right? You're assuming that's what they did, rather than just be like, yo, the Switch was the natural evolution of the Wii U. We were coming out with this anyway, whether we were in the bushes or not, right?
Right.
So if that is the case, and the Switch was just the natural evolution from the Wii U, they weren't looking at their place in the market, they weren't looking where they were failing. It was just, this is what it was going to be. Then it stands to reason that the next thing could come out of left field and they could throw the Switch straight in the bushes, because that's what they
pretty much the Wii U was just what they wanted the Wii. They wanted the Switch to be, but they didn't have the technology.
They didn't have the tech yet. They didn't have the tech yet.
The key will be because they have so much success, would they bump their head and do something crazy?
Like, to be honest with you, Cognito.
Yo.
To be honest with you, Cognito, I think there's zero chance that they lose. Zero chance.
No.
Because like, at the end of the day, they won every MPD.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Didn't release
But there is
But it goes
the
back to,
wacky
they
factor.
could be like, I don't care about all those MPD wins.
Yep.
We made a new toy. Here you go.
Yeah, there is
you can control it with your eyeballs. Like,
Yeah, they come out with
So at the end of the day, they sell cardboard to people.
Exactly.
So
They did the remember they did the racetrack joint. Remember the racetrack joint that King like?
Yes.
Yeah. And yo,
was
and no,
sold out.
and no, it's sold out. It may still be sold out, and it doesn't work right because when
I only seen Boom with it. I said, I don't even know how the hell Boom got one. Boom is the man.
I tell you, like, I wish that it was, hey man, we're looking at like, and it's a new Nintendo. It could be right there, like the leadership over there is different. So maybe Doug Bowser sees things differently, but at the same time, everything that matters out of Nintendo, right? It comes out of Nintendo of Japan. Like whatever Nintendo of Japan is gonna do, that's what's gonna get done.
Right.
Exactly.
So, to me, it is hilarious, man, because it's like we're speculating about this stuff. I would love a Switch Pro, right?
Yeah.
We would, right? We would love a natural evolution. We would like the Xbox One X of Switches. We would love that. I don't know.
I'm with you.
You're
I
asking
can
for
already answer
common
that
sense.
for you. It's not happening.
Yeah, they're asking for common sense from Nintendo. They have never shown common sense
ever.
There is literally.
It's not gonna.
No,
happen.
another thing that Slow-Mo mentioned. Another thing that Slow-Mo mentioned is they since NES to SNES, they've never had back-to-back successful consoles.
This is the loss that I'm looking for.
So,
but at the end of the day, it's like, look, why? To me,
this is how they wipe
if
it
you're
out.
Looking at it from the standpoint,
It's gonna be 26
why
months
would
of
they
not
even-
being
why
the
would they
first in
even
MPD.
why would they even want to upgrade it? Clearly, they're outselling everything. All their first parties outselling everything. The hype for the Switch is probably
Monster Hunter Rise
it's selling literally every month.
And
It's
you know
selling all
what?
their games every month.
To them,
What
it would
reason do they have?
only really matter if their internal studios were starting to have trouble making games.
Right.
Yep.
And
The
they
thing
push
is,
back.
their games. Let's be
There's
real.
one person inside
Oh
Nintendo
my
that said, "How can I kill this?
Assassinate
How can
this
I
idea.
kill this success?"
Yeah, I mean, they have been known for snatching, defeating each other's victory.
But no, they went from Wii to Wii U. I get
Stepping on the rake. Like
Yo,
it happens. Like,
The thing is,
This
though,
is the time.
look. The thing is, though, when it comes to what they've always been good at, that's handhelds.
Yes, and this is a
They've
handheld.
They've never had a miss when it comes to
Factual,
handhelds.
factual.
And I don't
Handhelds, they
see them
dominant.
going back to true just consoles.
I think this
They're
buddy's
going to
good.
get hybrids forever.
and but that's the thing.
This is what you
That
think.
is logical thinking. That is logical thinking.
Yeah.
That is what they should do.
Here we go.
This is why.
So are y'all implying Calvin is going to be in this boardroom for next gen?
But Calvin is always in charge of Nintendo.
Yo,
Always.
so they're gonna do an Oculus Rift type of joint, right? Watch. They're gonna do some VR. It's gonna be the Virtual Boy.
Telling you.
And
It's gonna be the Virtual Boy
Virtual
too.
Boy
I
too.
see that.
3 different
What's
colors.
the new wave?
I can see it, man. I would love them to just do the logical, correct thing to do.
It's not gonna happen.
And I'm afraid. I don't see that happening.
So do you think they're just gonna like make a GameCube 2 or something? Like,
if they can do it,
they've been known to jump out the box for no reason. They've been known to. There's a
jump
part
out
of me
the
that
box
does
for
believe
no
like
reason.
And they've done it all their whole career.
They've
has
done
been
it.
a series of.
Because
I get that, but they've never dropped the box of handhelds.
They're toy makers.
No, they're gonna lead it. You're gonna still be able to buy a Switch.
But this is the thing, though, right? They don't make pure handhelds anymore. Now they have to consider both markets, right? So yes, it would make sense that they continue making hybrids because that has worked for them. But again, that is assuming that they read the tea leaves going into the Nintendo Switch, and the Switch came out of them understanding that they were getting an ass kicked. I don't know if that's the reasoning.
So what if they do this, right? What if they cut off the OG Switch, right? They did that. Leave the stand still, because that's the popular joint with all the colors, right?
The weaker one, yeah.
Right? And then they make a console for the house because they already got the Switch for the streets. Switch
got a lot of what ifs for stuff that's not happening.
And they just come out with this new joint with the weird controller that launches onto your fingers.
They make something just for the house. Look, we have shown
this one has a dock. The rumor is a dock.
Dock
it's the same living room. Switch setup.
as long as
that dude is not credible.
Oh my! Now he's not credible.
Once he said 4K, you already knew he was wrong.
No, I'll believe it when I see it. I think they're gonna keep riding the success of the Switch for at least 3-4 years. I don't think we're gonna get any significant changes. We'll get better battery life, brighter screen, and maybe a little more juice. But nothing that's going to adversely affect games being on there. And then in 4 years, we get something new.
Get at it.
As long as they have Mario Kart, Pokemon, and Mario, everything else is irrelevant.
I feel that. We know how things go. Let me get the super chats that I got.
They made
the super chat hard body.
So we have a Rodimus with the $5 super chat. I'm surprised Lord King didn't bring up the fact that VRR is not coming to Sony 900 HTV.
No, you know,
time.
Listen, I was just gonna tell you guys, if the TVs aren't supporting it, you can pretty much know that the PlayStation 5 isn't going to support it yet. When the update goes out for the televisions, then you will see the update go out for the PlayStation.
The thing about it is that they promised that update to the 900H from the rip, and they've been silent about it. So, the tech guys on YouTube have been inquiring with Sony, like, what's going on with this? There should have been a patch, like what's going on behind the scenes. And I guess it's trickled out that it's not coming to the 900H. Maybe that's the thing. So the problem there is that
for the J.
People cop this TV because play it with the PlayStation 5, like it plays PlayStation 5 best, and
man, what PlayStation 5
don't do? Apparently, PlayStation is offering refunds on it. So time.
Next super chat.
That you was up at 8 o'clock this morning texting me.
Time.
He texted me at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I'm up.
Wait, you were up without having bed at that hour?
Yeah, he's up. Continue. Come on. Let's get the super chat.
And we have Victor Alistair with the $5 super chat. 2018 7 studio acquisitions. 2019 console reveal at Game Awards. 2020 ZeniMax acquisition announced. Any guesses for 2021? Isn't Sonic enough for Sega acquisition? We'll see.
WB, Ubisoft Game Pass.
Yeah.
Okay. What else
and we got Rubber Knob with the $5 with that. xCloud gonna hurt the Switch, but if Game Pass comes on Switch, game over. Yeah, that is true.
Nah, they ain't doing that. Phil already said we can help them out when they fall. They too high on their own supply right now. They ain't listening to nobody.
Then we got Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. I might have to take King's knees again. I remember when he said Animal Crossing wouldn't outsell Avengers.
Ooh!
Nintendo will pass PS2 sales in 3 years. PS2.
Yeah, and Avengers is in the bushes.
Yeah.
All right. The Switch is going to outsell the PS4.
God bless.
Pixelbit G with the $5 super chat. This is Nintendo's way. But if their next console does not play Switch games with the same cartridge, it's a fail. The racetrack is fire. I have two
He got two.
How you get those? I mean,
Time. Let's keep going.
Right here. I wanted to play while I was talking to you guys. I was gonna sit back there and play.
And play with
Yeah,
it.
Shroom kicking it with the $5 super chat. OLED shaking my head. Nintendo will sell you a cardboard CRT before they do that. Hold on. Then I gotta go back. Oh, that was it.
That was it. All right, cool. So look, real quick for me. Yeah, with the first part with the next level. Yeah, I will admit I was surprised because I thought that hold on, let's get slow.
$10 super chat slow mo backslap. The manatees that write the stories for Family Guy are also executives that plan the next console after Nintendo makes a good one. Next Nintendo console is gonna be made out of paper mache.
What's this snatching victory? What is it? What is it? What is this song?
Snatching defeat from the
Jaws of victory. Let's see what Nintendo do. But look, for the next level, I was surprised because Nintendo has not copped a studio in like 13 years.
Yeah,
13 years.
The last one was
Monolith.
yes, Monolith.
Yeah, it's like Monolith. So when I saw that, I was like, what y'all doing? So I was going to hit kick up like, I wonder if like Phil or somebody slid the DMs. It was like, yo, what's up? Let me kick the tires on this availability. And Nintendo's like, nah, fam, we not doing that. Because it just seemed weird. Like they've had this great relationship. They've made Luigi's Mansion, Strikers, all these Nintendo games. They don't need to necessarily put a ring on that. But it's just funny to me that they
had
did.
to do it now.
Yeah, like so to me, it's like someone was kicking around the towers, like the hey boo winning the DM.
Game Pass putting their God in
they
them.
they probably heard that they were doing meetings with other people and they're like, oh, it's like that.
It's like
okay,
that.
okay.
Nintendo is so used to people being with them off the strength
and
of
then
them.
you gotta think it's not just, Nintendo has probably been thinking about making that push, but they never done it because they didn't have to.
Yeah,
but then you have Amazon poking around. You got Google poking around. You got Microsoft poking around.
That girl.
They had to put a ring on that.
Yeah,
Out
I'm
here
telling
now
you.
putting the
Time.
ring
Let's
on
keep
it.
going.
And that's that fear of God because say what you will about EA, right? EA is not what they were or whatever. The fact that EA is in bed with Game Pass, I don't care what you say. And if the Ubisoft thing is true, that is the fear of God. You need to get in bed with all these companies.
Yes, let's lock them up. Let's lock them up. You gotta lock your boo down.
You gotta lock your boo.
It's cuffing season, so if you ain't cuffing,
Cuffing season, winter's here. You gotta snatch them up.
But there's a
Nintendo saw his girl turn her head and look at Microsoft.
but there's a reason they haven't bought Platinum, and I think we all know that reason.
Phil Dominus said, "You want me to take you to the next level?"
Phil Dominus said, "Yo, that Luigi Mansion you did was good."
Yeah.
She said, "Really, though? Really, Phil?
What time? Let's go.
Tell me more about my eyes."
Let's get out of the poll. Let's go.
Phil, you just compliment me.
Oh my God! So look, man. Then as far as the revision, man, I don't know what they're gonna do. All I want, like I said, 4K or whatever. Okay, we see. That's happening. Yeah, the Tegra, man. The Tegra. That's what I want to know. Get the Tegra up. Get your Tegras up.
Get the Tegras up.
Get your CPU popping. You know what I'm saying? Give me some frames before you worrying about all this 4K and stuff. And get a proper online, please, and let me message people. That's all I care. I don't care about all this other stuff. It's cool. That's great. That's it. But yeah, man. That's all I got. Anybody else so we can roll on out of here? Because Attic is in the bushes. So,
no, I'm here.
Okay. So look, new ILP poll. We didn't get a chance to touch much on this, but in the show, but we're gonna touch on it now. What if game scenario would have been the most impactful on the game industry in an alternate reality? A, this was the rumors that went out that just came out. Nintendo being purchased by Microsoft during the OG Xbox era. I know y'all caught that article.
Death of Sony.
B, Sony and Nintendo combining forces to actually make PlayStation. C, Sega and Sony secret CD console talks. This was going on right at the same time the Nintendo and Sony fell through. Or D, I don't care, Activision or EA need to buy WB Games. That is the question. Those rock the vote, man. Please check that out later on Twitter. Salute the Lord Mark Nauta from FiraxisGames pulling up. Good show. And of course, The Realm showing tremendous support. Lord Addict about to be in the bushes for not getting no sleep, and he's on the phone. But we're gonna ask him where can I find people to find him, but he's on the phone, so we're gonna ask Saw where can I find people to find him.
Oh yeah, first off, yeah, check me out on the Big Cast this week. And shout out to Ames and Lord Dan and the Indie Gamer. Fantastic to be on there. And of course, you can find me at Lord Sob IOP on Twitter. Let me say it differently, so I don't get called out by addicts. And you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know. Back to work.
Back to work. Yo, salute Saw doing his thing. You already know Addict still on the phone. Lord King pushing Game Pass agendas to FiraxisGames.
I'm gonna tell you right now, we need it for access and to get purchased. Right? We need them to get purchased. We got
I think they with 2K. 2K gets
out
that
there.
bad.
That's nice. So we need to snatch them. See if they're available. Kick the tires over there, because 2K ain't using them how they supposed to.
Oh my
God. Getting
God.
exposure how they supposed to. But you can catch me on Dolph Castle X 9 p.m. Fridays, where you can see luscious statues like this being unboxed.
Oh.
Yeah. Just turn it over this way. Oh, the new display, the setup. You see Anubis in the back. That KOS is dropping on Monday. KOS dropped this week with Hulk Transformation, which is right here. Right after that, we're going to go into Scarlet Witch, which is over there, and we're going to get into that Red Hulk, which is a monster.
Nice.
This whole time I've been texting and talking to guys because I put a couple of statues up for sale. Like, I changed my whole direction into XM statues. So those statues is up for sale. Most of them is already just sold already. I put up like 10 and they all gone, almost. And I'm going to be bringing different and new content in because I'm ordering. I just take that money and revolve it right back into new statues. So you catch me on Twitter, King David OTW. Also on Xbox Live, King David OTW, same thing. Where Rubber Knob added me. I was sitting there and he added me. I was like, I clicked on his name. I was like, yeah, I friended him right back. I was like, oh, I got Rubber Knob in the stable. That's crazy.
That.
I
All you need is Wilbo Gaggins.
Wilbo Gaggins in your team.
Because when I'm on, dudes jump in the party. And it's cool. Like, I was playing with Cog, and I wasn't playing with Cog. We was in the chat, and some dude just jumped into my game when I was playing. I guess he saw me on. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna join King and play with King," but he didn't see nothing in the chat. But it's whatever, man. We out here. We're real human beings. Our heads are not big paws. We definitely.
Neil said, "Wow, you must be making good money."
Oh man. Okay, I'm out.
Neil is pocket watching the whole show.
The feds is watching.
Yeah, what's up? So you're good. Addict, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, cool. Lord Addict, where can people find you? What you got going on, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Lord Addict IOP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addicts. And you can find me going to work here in about 20 minutes.
Oh, geez.
What?
Okay.
You gotta go to work?
Oh, man.
I see you like that Wonder Woman, though.
Neil said he was going to hope you get King his clear.
Yeah. I'm off tomorrow, though.
Yo, Neil,
tomorrow
raid.
Yeah, Ray, stop, Neil, stop spamming the chat about asking people to be in the IOP clan. I'm like, what's going on?
So how long is this raid now that you guys got it down pat? Like, how is long?
We can do it in
45 minutes.
Okay, so you know your way through the fall.
That's if no one messes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to a part where people brain fart.
Yeah. Nah, we good. So, all right, we got that. And, of course, you already know LordCognito here. Sorry, no last word this weekend. Like I said, Ease has been having a ton of problems with his provider. So we're going to work on some backup solutions, most likely IOP channel, if that happens again, if he doesn't get his stuff resolved, because the last word must continue. Must get that Destiny talk on that Saul loves to hear. And
get those eyes of tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got, what you say again?
You gotta get those eyes of tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta get that eyes of tomorrow. We'll definitely get that popping. Hopefully, if Attic is not too tired, maybe later on we can get a raid on a late night. I'll take that for that because I want to get carried by Attic and the crew. So that's all I got. Again, salute to Mark Nauta. We got a lot of fun guests hooking up this month. A lot of things playing, a lot of big stuff. Be on the lookout for the next 2 months. It's gonna be crazy. Appreciate the salutes, everybody. We missed any super chats? We good?
Nah, we're good.
All right, man. We're gonna get out of
here.
Wait.
We don't. Oh. No, we got to.
Oh, we good. All right, cool. Everybody. Yo, why Racist said King's not releasing his tax info because he under. Y'all pocket watching my man. Anyway. Why you be this? Anyway, on that note, everybody enjoy. We see y'all next week.
Green screen next week.
Green screen next week. Peace.
Block all of that.